The Community Bank High School Football Game of the Week on WHIZ-TV is presented by the Community Bank. Now is the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Genesis Orthopedic Center, where better begins here. By Williamson Insurance, the power of choice from top-rated national and regional insurance carriers. By Finks Harley Davidson, live to ride, ride to live. Finks Quality Cars and RVs. Quick as a wink, deal with Fink and Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental. By Northside Pharmacy and Northside Oxygen and Medical Equipment. Northside, your pharmacy for life. By Norvell's Hearing Aid Centers in Zanesville and Cambridge, always here for you. By Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grade K through 12. By Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. By City Tire Pros, serving our community since 1953. When you think tires, think City Tire Pros. By Denny's Classic Diner, America's favorite diner in Zanesville and Cambridge. Scoreboards are provided by the Finks family of motor vehicles and services, with instant replay brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union and the Halftime Show presented by CA House Music.
We welcome you to the Community Bank Game of the Week here on WHIZ TV. With Doug Clifford, I'm Hank Alfman, and Facebook Live. We have a MVL matchup yet again here in Week 7. This is the host Sheridan Generals taking on the Philo Electrics. Quite the matchup here on paper between these two. Sheridan riding high, 5 wins and 1 loss, 5-1 coming in on a high note. Philo also on a high note, only 3-3 at 500 on the year, but don't be fooled. They've won 2 consecutive games, and we saw these Electrics 2 weeks ago.
Well, not only that, they've lost some really close games. 1 point, 1 play here, 1 play there. So they're not your typical 3-3 team by any stretch.
Not at all. In fact, we saw Philo hang on 20-14 2 weeks ago in the Game of the Week against the West End Tornadoes at home at Sam Hatfield. Last week, they took on the Crystal Ceramics, and they won that game 28-6 to get to this point as they come in with a 2-game winning streak. Sheridan, meanwhile, took on Riverview, a Black Bear team that had won 3 straight games coming in to that contest. No longer. The Generals steamrolled them 53-14, jumped out 26-0, Doug, before the Black Bears really got off the bus and knew it hit them. And it was a total domination, not only on the scoreboard, but in the yardage. It was 349 yards to 84 yards in the first half, and one of those plays was a 62-yard touchdown run that Sheridan gave up of the 84 yards, so they were dominant.
Oh, no doubt about it, and that's the only blowout game Sheridan's been in. They have 3 games that's been decided by a touchdown or less. They've won 2 and lost 1. I think they beat John Glenn 21-7. Yep. So this is not your clock running, we're going to be ahead by 75 points in the third quarter Sheridan team. So it'll be interesting to see this way. Now we're in Week 7. What happens?
Yeah, you got the playoffs right around the corner. Remember now, a couple years ago, the field stretched from 8 teams to 16 in the region, increasing your odds of getting in. Sheridan right now would be a shoe-in. Philo is trying to make sure they get in there. 3-3, they're on the edge. But there's, again, 4 weeks left to go, starting here tonight, and they got to pull off a huge road win here at Sheridan at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium, something they haven't done since 2016.
Well, I looked at Sheridan's remaining schedule. They play 4 good teams to finish the season. They're 3rd in their region. And so I thought, well, the 2 teams ahead of them, I think, are Tri-Valley and Chillicothe. They might have a tough schedule. They all have big games too. Yeah. So it's going to be really tight for that top 3 spot.
Absolutely will be. So Sheridan, Philo, about set to do battle. Last time Philo won in this series was in 2017 at Sam Hatfield Stadium. So it's 4 straight wins for Sheridan in the series between these 2 schools. And you look at the coaching matchups. We got the interviews coming up here for you in just a moment. Dirk Lincecum in his 13th year at Philo. Paul Culver III in his 7th year here at Sheridan. Lincecum had the upper hand early on, winning the first 2 matchups between these 2 coaches, but it's been 4 straight since.
Well, it's 2 veteran coaches, 2 coaches who not only are coaching in the NVL, they played in the NVL. So the rivalry runs deep between these 2 schools, and both quality head coaches with 2 good coaching staffs behind them.
We'll see what we get here tonight. First off, we got head coach of the Philo Electrics and Dirk Lincecum as he gets set for his team to pick off the road win tonight here at Sheridan. Let's hear from him.
So at this point in the season, the big thing is just trying to keep our guys healthy, trying to keep everybody focused, and keep things simple. Try not to put too much on their plate because with it being week 7, we've had to fight through some things this year that haven't gone our way, and the grit of the football team has been tested a lot. So really just trying to keep the message simple, trying to keep the kids in a routine that keeps everything moving along at practice. The message remains the same, though. All the goals that we have are still in front of us and attainable. So I guess the kids excited to know that even though we've had some ups and downs this year, they still have a lot to play for. Well, Sheridan's a good football team, and anybody that beats Sheridan is going to have to bring a full team effort. I think the keys for us are that we can't have any costly penalties, can't turn the ball over, got to tackle well. Got to do all the little things up front, no missed assignments, and some guys are going to have to step up and make some plays. We're going to have to be a bend but don't break defense because they've got some good, 2 good quarterbacks. They got some good receivers. They got a couple tough running backs. They're good up front and they play good defense. So, we have our work cut out for us. We're going to have to put forth our best effort and take a few punches and not fall.
Dirk Lincecum right there for the Philo Electric's head coach, and again into his 13th year as they get set to do battle with the Sheridan Generals here on the road. A lot of things that you would expect, Coach speak from Coach Dirk there, and he'll have his team fired up.
They'll be ready. Philo's a physical team. They've always been a physical team. Coach Lincecum gets them fired up for every game. They're well prepared defensively and offensively, so they'll be ready.
Philo, again, 3-3 coming in. Don't be fooled. All 3 losses earlier in the year, and all by less than 1 score to date. Now it's time to flip over to the other side and the host Sheridan Generals, Paul Culver III. Let's hear what he has to say about his team as he prepares for victory number 6 on the year.
I think the biggest thing that we do well is we have 20 seniors, kids that have been in the program, and so they do everything that we ask of them. They have excellent leadership. We have leadership. That sets the tone for a team. We can still get better in that area, but I'm really proud of our senior leaders. We are a 60-40 run split kind of a thing. We still have some smash mouth tendencies in our offense, but I do believe that having a balanced passing attack, makes a big difference. We're a 3-3 stack when it comes to defense, and we'll always try to control the line of scrimmage and stop the run effectively, and then cover 3 in the secondary, and we've been doing that for 30 years. I think their kids always play hard. One of their big things is if you can hit, you can play for Philo football. And to their credit, I know that. Philo football is physical, and their kids run hard, and they're weight room kids, and that stems from their coaching staff. The staff, Coach Lincecum is the real deal. He's a genuine article. He lives it. He eats it. He walks around like he still can chew nails, and the kids are an extension of that. So their kids are going to play hard, but they do a lot of things offensively that are very sophisticated. We're out there talking about, hey, you got to play chess this week. Like, this isn't just basic stuff. This is 2nd, 3rd level stuff. And while they're still learning in terms of the young guys that they have, they do a great job. My dad, I got to say this because my dad would say that every time we have to score more points. The question is, how do you do that best? We have to control the ball on the ground with our offensive running game, so that we control the clock from that extent, but then play keep away with our defense. And so that's as cliched as it gets, but that's what we've done for 40 years. We were able to stop the run, and we were able to control the clock with the running game, but now we're seeing a team that does the exact same thing, preaches the exact same thing. They're going to throw the ball 12 times, right? They're going to preach the exact same thing. The running backs they have are hard runners, they're physical kids, and so a test of wills, a test of the off season, a test of who won this game in February, March, April, May, that kind of thing.
That was Sheridan General's head man running the sidelines, and Paul Culver III as his team prepares for victory here at home tonight at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium. Tough matchup as they get set to take on again the Philo Electrics. Doug, a lot of good things between these two, a lot of rivalry games over the years, and for one thing, he said some stuff in order to move forward, as head coach at Sheridan, and this goes back to his father's days, early on in his coaching career, you had to beat Philo. That was the thing back then.
That's right. It was the same deal at Crooksville. Philo was when I arrived in the MVL, it was perfect timing to get thrashed by Philo. They were really good, and so there were some just monster games between these two teams. So this rivalry runs deep. There's no doubt about it. A lot of emotion in this game, and we were talking about a game when Sheridan went down there and I think scored a million points one game. So, yeah, you don't scratch very deep. The players may not realize it, but I'm sure the coaches do.
Well, last time Philo came in here and won again, 2016, 6 years ago. It was a low-scoring game, a tight one, 10-7. The year after that, in 2017, Dirk Lincecum did it again for his team at home when they also won by 3 points, 21-18. 4 straight wins for the Generals coming in, including last year's 32-21 win. But it was a lot closer than the final score indicated. It was 14 all at halftime between these two teams.
Well, I think Philo's best chance tonight is for it to be a low-scoring game. We've seen them play. They have a good, solid offense. But they don't score bunches of points. They have to win this game on defense tonight, get a couple scores, and hang on.
They really do. Philo has lost a lot of low-scoring games, including a 7-6 game to Morgan. Doesn't get any closer than that.
Nope.
Back in the early part of the year, speaking of Morgan, they have a big game tonight against New Lexington, two of the teams in the upper echelon of the standings with Tri-Valley and Sheridan. New Lex all 5-1. We'll see Morgan next week against West Muskingum. Morgan's 4-2. Hey, this is when it's winning time down the stretch.
Man, some good games.
I know, right? We're going to step aside. We got the kickoff for you here right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in here on Facebook Live in the Community Bank Game of the Week. Back with the opening kickoff here at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium after this.
If you attended school in the state of Ohio, you may qualify to become a member of the Ohio Educational Credit Union. From elementary to high school, trade school through college, we're not just for teachers anymore. So come see us at the Ohio Educational Credit Union.
The overall culture here is one of servitude. Everything that we do day to day is affected by what is best for the customer.
As soon as you get that policy, the process doesn't stop there. We don't put you aside.
They get to know us. They get to be our friends. They are members of our community.
We just treat people like we would treat our own family.
We want to be here for you, whatever the circumstance.
We're available to you whenever you need us.
Call Williamson Insurance Service, representing Grange Insurance in Zanesville, Newark, and Pataskala.
Find the car you want now. The truck you want now. The travel trailer you want now at ThinksQualityAutos.com. Find the performance you want now. Luxury you want now. Economy you want now at ThinksQualityAutos.com. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, even travel trailers. Get the vehicle you want for less at Thinks. Find it now at Thinks or online at ThinksQualityAutos.com. Quick as a wink, deal with Thinks.
Do you have to ask your wife or husband to repeat everything she says or he says? Don't get mad. Call us at Norvell's Hearing Aid Center in Zanesville or Cambridge for a free hearing aid consultation.
Norvell's, helping save marriages for over 50 years.
Buckeye Apparel is a local screen printing embroidery shop. My brother and I started in my parents' basement. We started with the apparel and then it led to our Mark of Valor, which is our motorsports themed apparel. Then it led into our locality store. As soon as I met with the community bank, I could tell that they cared about what I had going on, the projects, the business that I had going on. If you shop local, choose local, and bank local, it keeps your money back in your own pocket.
Back here on the Community Bank Game of the Week here on WHIZ TV and Facebook Live as well right now. Currently, we have the Sheridan Generals here hosting the Philo Electrics in an MVL showdown with Doug Clifford. I'm Hank Kaufman again. Philo in the road, white tops and blue pants and blue numerals with the white hats. Sheridan wearing their customary red tops and red hats, trimmed in white with the pants and the numerals and the logos. This should be a good one. Sheridan's going to get the ball first here. You see Philo tease things up the 40-yard line, Doug.
Philo won the toss, elected to defer, so they want their defense on the field first. They want the ball first in the second half.
Buckle up. Community Bank Game of the Week is now the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Here's your opening kickoff return by the Generals, and it's a good one. Out past the 35-yard line on the far side of the field, and that's where they'll set up shop on offense for the first time tonight.
Pretty good run back. That was an odd low-line drive, bouncing kick, but it's fielded cleanly.
And Sheridan is coming off of a huge 53-14 win over the Riverview Black Bears, a team that had won 3 straight coming into that game. Back-to-back home games for the Generals. They did it right here a week ago Friday. Just totally dominating all facets of that contest and rolling up a 349-84 advantage total yardage in the first half. as they jumped Riverview early and often. They're going to come out with a spread 3 receiver set, twin receivers to the left-hand side, and one lone setback, and it's going to be a fake. It's going to be an option, and it's a keep by the quarterback past the 40, first down and more, near midfield, just shy there up at the 49-yard line. That's a 14-yard run for number 14 to kick it off.
You know, just as you can count on corn growing in the background at a Sheridan football game, you can count on the Sheridan running the option. They have run the option since it was invented, I believe, and they do it probably as well, if not better, than anybody I've ever seen. No matter what offensive set they're in, they find a way to run the option.
And that was Reed Packer, 6'2", 190-pound senior, the starting quarterback on that keeper to start things off for the Generals as they move the ball near midfield. He'll take it out of the gun, hand it off this time from the motion man coming from right to left, and it's another good run, just short of a first down over in Philo territory at about the 42. We do have a flag, though, at the line of scrimmage.
I thought the left tackle was holding. The guy on the sideline didn't call it, but the back judge did.
And that looks like, it's going to negate a 9-yard Drew Boyer run. Boyer, 5'11", senior, standing 165 pounds, came out from the wide receiver slot position to get that tote. And that run goes for naught, and they'll move it back to the 40.
That left hand kind of slipped around the shoulder pad and was on the Philo player's defensive end's back, and you can hold, and referees won't call it, but as soon as that hand slips to the back, it's automatic.
And so the Generals now have a first down and long. It'll be 1st and 19 as they place it back at the General 40-yard line. Opening moments of this game here in Thornville at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium. There's a big gaping hole, and getting the penalty yards back and a couple more over to the Philo 49-yard line is the ball carrier, number 20, Justin Munyon.
I'm anxious to see if that was a straight single blocking. No, it was a trap, 64. Yeah, nice block. Yes, that's another trademark. No matter how Sheridan lines up, they run the same plays they've run since the original Coach Culver was here. They run a fullback trap. They run the option. I'm sure they'll run a counter play here soon.
Extremely effective running back to Munyon, and he is a load to get down, and he's elusive with speed right out of the chute to the 35 of Philo. 14 more yards. That will move the chains here for the Generals. They threaten on the opening possession. Take another look there on that instant replay, brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union.
Well, there's another fullback trap right up the gut, and another Sheridan trademark is if they find a weakness, you better adjust soon because they will absolutely be there the rest of the game.
And so Sheridan on the move. Munyon to the left of the quarterback, and Packer in motion from left to right goes Bryson Ruff, passing downfield, got a man over on the sideline, couldn't reel that one in. So close.
He ran an out pattern, tried to get into that void in the zone where the corner is up front and the safety's in the middle of the field, and the ball was there and just missed. Missed.
Boyer had his fingertips on it. A little bit tough for him to adjust to that pass. And so it falls harmlessly incomplete. Generals will have a 2nd down and 10. They're at the Philo 35-yard line. They threaten here for points. Just 2 minutes nearly gone by. Clock stopped after the incompletion. And same look here is coming in motion is Ruff left to right. It's a keep Packer. Packer wiggles his way forward for about 3 and gets thrown down for a few more to the 30.
Boy, that was kind of reminiscent of the throwdown you saw in Cincinnati last night.
I certainly did. And let me tell you, and you're referring to the Bengals and the Dolphins game down in Cincinnati. Yes, I made that trek down there with my wife. And, you know, what a game it was. Unfortunately, Tua got the brunt of it. And in this case, Packer did not. And he's up. And that's good for him, good for the General faithful. On hand here tonight. And you have 3 receivers here on 3rd down and 5. Got to get to the Philo 25-yard line. Munyon behind Packer back there. Long snap count, in motion, goes Showalter. Showalter didn't get the pitch. I think Packer wanted to do it, and he gets thrown down for a loss. Great tackle in the backfield for that loss by Drew Lincecum, the coach's son.
Well, that play was set up by the man covering the pitch. You see the man trailing out there, number 40. He's on the pitch, man, all the way. Packer took a loss on the play, but had he pitched that ball, it would have been a lot worse than a loss. That probably would have been a fumble.
Well, makes it a lot more difficult play call here, but not difficult decision on 4th and 8 no man's land at the 33 of Philo.
No doubt about it. They're definitely going to go for this.
50-yard field goal will not be attempted despite nice fall weather here in the low 60s at game time. We'll dip into the 50s as we move on into darkness. 4 receivers set to each side, looking to pass. Packer left side, looks middle of the field. In traffic, picked off by Philo at about the 10-yard line, and thrown down there is Talon Preston, who also plays starting quarterback for these Electrics.
I tell you what, he read that thing all the way, stepped right in front of the receiver. Is great protection by the offensive line. The ball was slightly underthrown, and Preston just stepped right in front of it, played the ball all the way. Great job on defense.
Well, Lincecum stands 6 foot as his defensive back position. Well, technically, he's listed as a linebacker, and he slipped back there in coverage for that INT. 5'9" only for Showalter, so he was already at a height disadvantage on that throw.
No doubt about it.
Worked out good for Philo either way. However one makes you think, was it better to drop it? It would have been a 4th down failed. You had the ball up at the 33. Well, hindsight, 2020, right? Regardless, Philo has the ball for the first time here on offense, and it's going to be a fake. It's a keep, turning forward near the 20-yard line, and taken down there is Preston, the aforementioned Preston with the interception.
Very similar play to the same one that Sheridan is running with the quarterback keep. Fake the handoff and just keeps it around the end. Good play. Nice gain, about 8 yards. Looks like a little less than 2 for the first down for the Electrics.
There you see it on the replay again. He'll line up in shotgun formation. Like I said, need 2 yards, 8 on that pickup. First offensive play for Philo Goodwin. Go back to Preston again on 2nd down and a couple, and he picks up his jersey number 2, and that should be enough for a first down depending upon the spot.
Well, I think they're going to mark him at the 23, and he only had to get to the 22. Chains are already moving. Yep, first down. Good call, Hank.
Big first down by the Electrics here on offense as they turn the Generals over. Looked like Sheridan was going to go in for some points to start. And they get held back. Now the Electrics look to do something with it on offense. And Talon Preston so far calling the number here. 2 runs on the first 2 offensive plays. Again, just a sophomore, Doug, and we saw him 2 weeks ago in the win against West End. Very impressive for a young kid. Here's Drew Lincecum trying to run around the end. Not much doing. Maybe a half yard.
I think Drew missed the cut. The guy who tackled him was being blocked. We can see it on a replay. It looked to me like he should have put that left foot in the carpet and cut it up to the inside.
And you're right. He bounced it out. You know, you want to go north-south, not east-west. That didn't work. For Lincecum there on a new set of downs on 1st and 10. Now it makes it 2nd down and 9. That will give him a yard with the progress. He'll line up in the backfield to the left of Preston. 2 back set, 1 east direction. Receivers split wide. Here's a almost pick, is it? Incomplete. The read was there beautifully by A.J. Winders.
Well, he had that all the way, too. You know, I thought when I saw the set come out, they had 2 setbacks back there at the quarterback. I thought, you know, this is either going to be a lead running play or that's maximum protection. They're just going to throw 1 or 2 route pass play, and that's what it was. It was just a pass play, maximum protection. They were just going to go for that quick pass. Winders read that thing in a heartbeat.
Very fortunate. Could have been a pick 6 had it been a little bit higher on the pass. So maybe Preston happy that he threw that one a little bit low. So here we go, 3rd down and 9. Passing situation. Receiver motion from right to left. They'll go with a screen. Lincecum out of the backfield. He'll turn it forward, and he'll fight his way to about the 30, but he's going to be well short of that first down marker. And so it's pretty obvious here. Doug, Philo will end up kicking the ball away. Their defense did the job. Offense picked up 1 first down, then stalls.
Well, it was interesting to me. Philo ran a man in motion to the far sideline, and not one guy on the Sheridan defense moved. Nobody made an adjustment at all. It was almost like they were sitting waiting for that play to be executed. Nice job by their defense.
No pressure whatsoever on the punter. Fair catch signaled by the Generals at their own 48-yard line. Fair catch, and that was Andrew Holden, 5'10 senior. And we'll see Sheridan's offense come back out on the field for the 2nd time here in the quarter. Just 5 minutes elapsed. You see the clock at the bottom. 7 minutes left to go in our opening quarter. Expect a dogfight here tonight. We're getting it early.
Well, we are, and no one scored. No one's made anything close to a score. But Sheridan is already winning the field position battle tonight. I mean, they're going to start the ball here, start their second possession at their own 48-yard line. I would imagine probably 4 down territory if they get 1 first down.
3 receivers set here on their second offensive possession. One lone back, and it's a fake. Packer looking to run, and now just avoid a defender in Lincecum. He tries to run to the wide side of the field, and he dives into Philo territory, out of bounds near the 49-yard line. 3 yards out of basically running for about 20.
Classic RPO, run pass option play. You can see the receiver out there is waiting for the ball. Packer just almost brought it down and threw it to him, but the receiver was covered. So when the defensive back committed to the receiver, Packer decided to run the ball and pick up 3 yards.
Colton Reedy, sophomore back, 5'7", 150-pounder, had lined up in the backfield, and he does so again behind Packer as they faked it to him there on first down. Let's see if they go to him here on second down. 3 receivers. Now all 3 will be on the right-hand side as the receiver goes in motion from left to right, and it will be a run first time tonight. And look at him go in Philo territory near the 30, just short of that. Ripping off 17 yards is the sophomore back I just mentioned right there for the Generals.
It's the outside run on that zone blocking play. All the offensive line just step to their right and take off running and block whoever they bump into, and they just keep running. The back gets on their outside hip and just rides it like a wave.
17 yards for Reedy. Colton Reedy getting his first carry, and he made it count. He'll remain in the backfield here to the left of Packer. Twin receivers closely packed to the right. One lone receiver out wide left. It's going to be a handoff, a receiver handoff here, and nowhere to go. Getting back to the original line of scrimmage is Bryson Ruff. Ruff has been the guy that's gone in motion a lot here on their offensive sets, and he gets his first carry for nothing.
Well, Ty Moorhead and Drew Lincecum read that play all the way. That play was doomed from the start. Nice job by their defense. They stayed home. They didn't take any fakes, waiting for that guy to get the handoff.
So second down and 10 for the Generals. They were knocking on the door on their opening possession right about this spot. And then they failed on fourth down at the Philo 33 with an interception thrown. Let's see if they can cash in and get points here as their defense held the electric offense. And it's a handoff right up the chute. Open alley. We have flags flying, so we'll have to check this first down run by Reedy.
Well, if it's on the electrics, it's going to be a first down. If it's not on the electrics, it's coming back. What's the signal here?
And so
it's going to be holding on to Generals.
Ball spotted at the 19, and that would have been a 13-yard run for Reedy. He just ripped off 17, but yes, another flag on the line here for a hold. Take another look, see if we can see it.
Well, Coach Culver has found something he really likes there on the defensive front for Philo as far as running that fullback trap. And, I mean, that is a great call, great play. And this is the only stadium where the public address announcer is also one of the best cheerleaders in the place. John Almer does a great job at both.
He certainly does.
God bless him.
Public address announcer, cheerleader, you want to say, for Sheridan for a long time. So that will move Sheridan all the way back to the 43 with that penalty. They'll try it again with a run this time around the left side. It's Packer. And Packer gets good yards dug up to about the 35-yard line. So the Generals, if they could just play some clean football without the penalties, have a chance to do some things.
Well, that was a direct snap, predetermined quarterback run all the way. There was no fake, no option possibilities. Just see what they could get, cut down that distance for the first down. So it's going to be third down and, 13? Yep, third and 13.
Got to get to the 22. Yep.
I would imagine this is a passing down for the Generals. If I was the Electrics, I'd be watching out for a screen pass type of play here.
Let's see what they do. Packer gets it, fakes to the back, and looking to throw downfield. He had time of protection in coverage, and it's knocked down last second. Good defense.
Fake. Nice play, perfectly timed. Got that right arm in there, knocked the ball down, and kept his left hand off the back of the receiver, so he didn't draw the interference call.
Take another look there. Fake right there. Gets that mid in with the right. And the intended receiver for Sheridan downfield, number 80, Thor Knapp, 6'1", 200-pound tight end. Would have been close to the first down had he caught it.
I see what looks like a kicking tee in the huddle.
So you're talking about a 52-yard field goal, or you're going for it.
They're going to go for it.
Lining up to go, needing 13 yards. So they went for it on fourth down. On their opening possession at the Philo 33, threw an interception. Here they go, fourth down at the Philo 35. Back to pass, 4 receivers to each side, downfield pass, got a man caught, and it'll be first down Sheridan inside the 15, mark it all the way at the 13, 22 big yards.
Oh, clutch play there, great throw, great protection. stands in the pocket, puts the ball right on the money, right on the sideline. Andrew Holden ran a great pattern, is wide open.
First catch made by Holden tonight down that left sideline, a big one on 4th and 13, 22 yards as the Generals threaten nearing the 4-minute mark here in our opening quarter on the Community Bank Game of the Week on WHIZ TV and Facebook Live.
You know, Philo can't get any pressure on the quarterback. I mean, they're not pressuring the quarterback at all. They haven't really challenged him at all. They haven't rushed him and forced a bad throw. I expect to see the fullback trap in the passing game become a big part of this game.
And on first down, handoff right up the middle, trying to get close to that goal line, unable to crest it, is Justin Munyon, the Munyon name, household last name here at Sheridan in recent years.
No doubt about it. I think this is just straight blocking. Yes, it is. It's just wedge blocking up the middle, big on big, lock on, and see if we can get the thing in the end zone. Just about did, 1 yard.
Down to the one. Short. Yeah, let's see if Sheridan, they have 3 more cracks here to try to get a touchdown. At the 1, second down goal, and it's a fake. Packer diving in, and he's over for the score. Sheridan has struck first at the 3:43 mark as they hit the electrics in the mouth, going downfield for a 52-yard scoring drive.
You know, that was set up with the short punt from Philo. They took over at their own, Sheridan took over at their own 48-yard line. Nice drive down the field. They threw the ball, had a penalty, overcame the penalty, and put the first score of the night on the board.
You overcome penalties, you cash in and make conversions on 4th down like they did, 4th and 13. You're going to finish the deal here, and they did. Well-deserved by the Generals on this possession for points. Extra point up and good as well. 7-0 they lead it with 3:43 left to go here in this opening quarter, and Philo have a chance to equalize it up on their next possession. Have the chance for us to pass along your Game of the Week sponsors. Genesis Orthopedic Center, where better begins here. We will give you the Genesis Player of the Game when this one concludes. Williamson Insurance, the power of choice from top-rated national regional insurance carriers. Fink's Harley-Davidson, live to ride to live. Fink's Quality Cars and RVs, quick as a wink, deal with Fink. And Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental. And finally, Northside Pharmacy and Northside Oxygen and Medical Equipment. Northside, your pharmacy for life. Doug, we're on a roll. We've been together now 3 straight weeks calling games. We've had through our bumps and bruises this fall as well. We saw 3 games to start the year with running clocks. Last 3 weeks have been very tightly contested. Here we get our first points in the opening quarter from Sheridan. Will Philo come back and make a game of it, and we'll have yet another tight one in the end? Remains to be seen, but a good start to this one.
Yes, it is. I think what we're going to have to see Philo do is maintain a consistent drive the length of the field. Unless they get a short field opportunity, they're going to have to maintain control of the football, put first downs back-to-back until they can get something down this field. Even the game we saw them play, they start off really well, and then their offense kind of bogged down. So they need to put some first downs back-to-back.
Yeah, you're referring to the 2-week ago game we had when Philo jumped on West End 14-0 in the first. West End came back and knotted the score up at 14-all before Philo scored early in the fourth to win that game and hung on 20-14. Nice return by the Electrics up near the 40-yard line for their second possession on offense.
It's a short kick. Talon Bailey fielded that thing cleanly and did exactly what an up man is supposed to do. Catch it and go straight up the field and get as much as you can.
This is one of many games, obviously, around the area tonight. Big one. New Lexington and Morgan going at it. We'll see Morgan at West Muskingum next week. So a reminder, throwing that out there to you, the listening audience. Raiders and Morgan will see for the first time at the West Muskingum Tornadoes, our Game of the Week next Friday. Looking forward to that again as we move into October. Right here, Philo with it. Mark it at the 39-yard line. Lincecum shifting to the backfield, and they'll hand it off to the tailback. Looking to bounce it out, and somehow found a way. Somehow he got hidden back there and then gets pushed out near the first down marker on the sidelines emphatically at the 49, but nearly got the first down and depends upon the spot.
Well, he almost had a seat with the Hall of Fame guys being honored tonight by Sheridan. But that was an inside trap play. Counter play, looked like a guard and tackle both pulled to block, and there wasn't anything there. And somehow He bounced that thing clear out to the other side, ran outside to the right, and picked up 8 yards.
Yeah, they'll mark him out a little bit short. You just mentioned 8 yards at the 47. They need 2 to the Electrics here on second down. We have a lot of movement as that snap took place. The ball carrier on that one was Blake Linkus. We saw him in action a few weeks ago, get some carries, limited throughout that contest against the Tornadoes. Stands 5'9", 156 pounds for a senior. And, yeah, he found a way to kind of hide amongst the big boys there to bounce that one out for 8 a moment.
Akis couldn't find him. But then again, he didn't want to be found.
No, he didn't. Philo gets hit in the mouth with a false start for 5 yards, moving him back to about the 43. And so they'll have a second and long and running this one for a few up to about the 46. Actually, that's better than a few. It gets them a little bit closer, about half the distance to that first down marker. It'll be about 3rd down and 3 needed.
And Searles on ball carry that time. Good play, good positive yards, but now they have to convert a 3rd and 1, 2, 3. I mean, these are tough. 3rd and 3s. They're no picnic. I mean, you know where you're going to run it, you're going to throw it. I mean, no matter what you do, if it doesn't work, the fans, want your IQ tested. Oh, nice call, nice play.
Yeah, and that's going to be enough for a first down, it appears here, Doug, by Preston. As he had a nice fake in the backfield, sold it well, and took off and had just enough to get to the 50.
Both teams are running basically the same offense. Fakes up the middle to a lone setback, and the quarterback keeps the ball. Dives up the middle. So they should be used to seeing this stuff in practice.
Needed 3, got 4, did Preston. First time they could get into Sheridan territory right now, as they're currently at the 50-yard line stripe. And it's a handoff. Lincecum, he does just that. He's over into Sheridan territory. A tough fought 2 yards for Lincecum there. However, as the Electrics try to methodically move it down the field on this possession. Remember, they started the ball at their own 39.
Sheridan's in a 3-5 defense, 3 down linemen, 3 interior linebackers, 2 outside linebackers up close to the line of scrimmage. Depending on the situation, they loosen up or play tight. You never know on a passing play how many guys are going to rush. It might just be 3 guys. It could be 8. So, but it's a 3-5 defense with 3 linebackers between the tackles.
And here we go. Fake. Keeper again for Preston. He faked it to Lincecum. A couple more before being thrown backwards as he met the general defensive front wall to the 46-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 6. They got to get to the Generals' 40-yard line. You're seeing Preston and obviously Lincecum. They get their carries. But as of late, you're seeing Linkus, Searles, other guys trying to get mixed in.
Yep. Well, it's week 7. Guys are beat up. So you have to kind of share the load with your offensive ball carriers. Tackle that time by Thomas Helsel, 6'1", 190-pound senior.
Big play here from Philo. 3rd down, 6. Lincecum in the backfield, back to pass, looking right. Downfield, nice cut. And it's a first down catch made up to the 35, maybe the 36 actually, where the progress was stopped initially.
Nice.
Regardless, first down Electrics.
Nice throw. When we saw them play West End, we were both impressed by the sophomore quarterbacks that started that night. And that was an impressive pass right there. Stay in the pocket, give his receiver time to make the cut, put it right on the money.
I believe that was Dalton McNutt on the catch. We'll check that, number 25. We have 2 25s listed here, or it was Griffin Wells, rather. So we'll check that. We'll go with Griffin Wells here from what we're seeing. Electrics, 1st and 10, 35-yard line. Throw it out in the flat, incomplete, low throw on that one. Threw that one low of Searles. Basically, if you look right here, Doug, on that replay, that's a tough one. It's right at the shoes.
Well,
to dive for that one.
I think he was expecting his receiver to step forward a little bit. He was leading him, and the receiver just kept going on a lateral angle, parallel to the line of scrimmage, and the ball looked like it was misthrown, but I think it may have just been a bad pattern. Well, here's an interesting look. Full house backfield.
Certainly is. And it's going to be a handoff run up the middle, and that's Max Zimmerman, so his first carry of the night, and doesn't go much. In fact, just to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now for Philo, so an incompletion and no gain on that carry.
Well, Max, there were 3 backs back there in addition to the quarterback, the two lead backs went to the right to block, and Max ran to the left. He must have didn't think there was much there, and there wasn't anything on the left either.
And that would be the last play of your first quarter here in Thornville at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium. You see the score. Sheridan up over Philo 7-0. The Electrics threatening. We'll come back with second quarter action. Can Philo tie it up?
Storied Rivals started as a production company and it grew into a media company with our main focus in capturing unbelievable moments for families, kids, communities, teams, and schools. The financing Community Bank was able to provide us changed our business and allowed us to get to the next step. The Community Bank is trying to grow the community, and by backing us and our mission and then what we're providing for the community, they see that as a win-win. No matter what happens, they'll always be my first call.
You don't have to be a full-time athlete to experience muscle, joint, or ligament issues. Injuries happen every day. Fortunately, the sports medicine team at Genesis is here to help. With expertise across a variety of musculoskeletal injuries and procedures, the latest technology in an office setting, and all the support of Genesis Healthcare System, we'll help you get back to whatever is most important in your life. Better begins here. Start your path to better at genesishcs.org.
Hi, Randy Kokonas.
And I'm Bo Kokonas. It's hard to believe it's been 95 years since my great-grandfather first opened in a furniture business.
So now we're celebrating our big 95th anniversary with extra special savings store-wide. First, get a $95 Kokonas gift card just for stopping in. Second, enjoy up to 72 months 0% financing. And third, stop in any Kokonas location and register to win over $20,000 in prizes.
Come celebrate our big 95th anniversary sale
at all Kokonas Furniture and Mattress First locations.
If you attended school in the state of Ohio, you may qualify to become a member of the Ohio Educational Credit Union. From elementary to high school, trade school through college, we're not just for teachers anymore. So come see us at the Ohio Educational Credit Union.
Back here on the Community Bank Game of the Week at Sheridan High School at Thornville. Hank Hoffman, Doug Clifford with you. The site tonight, 3rd and 10. Philo to start the second quarter down 7-0. And looking to pass, hit as he throws is Preston. And downfield incomplete. Tight coverage, really good general defense there on 3rd and long.
Justin Munyon on the coverage, but just as important was the pass rush. Quarterback was under duress to get that ball off. 4th down and 10.
And Searles was the intended target downfield, so looking Searles' way, get him involved more here as this half moves on. And so Philo now has that chance where 4th and 10, 35-yard line is Sheridan. You're not going to kick a 50-yard-plus field goal. You're going to go for it. It's just what's in the bag of tricks or in the playbook.
Well, this is interesting. The whole team kind of hung out on the sideline after that play and got the call. They're going to line up and run the play.
3 receivers set. 2 receivers out to the right side, the short side of the field. We have flags prior here to the snap, and it might be a delay of game.
Yeah, definitely.
They gave him the timeout. Prior to that, I saw 0 on the clock there, Doug. Let's check this. You got one saying flag, one saying timeout.
One guy says timeout, one guy's marching back 5 yards.
Let's see what they go with. That will really be beneficial, obviously, if they'll just get this timeout.
Well, it looked like the Philo coaching staff herded the offense over there on the far sideline without calling a timeout, just kind of had the guys all hang out over there and gave them the play with the thought that we're just going to run out, line up, and execute this play and catch Sheridan flat-footed. But the time clock ran down to the point they couldn't get the play off. So now it's
okay.
Well, they are calling a penalty.
So while they sort that out, remind you, Morgan at West Muskingum next week is our game of the week. And there it's is that a substitution infraction instead being whistled here?
Yeah.
Rather than a delay, still a penalty on the Electrics. No matter how you slice and dice it for 5 yards.
Right. The guy in the back, I saw him signal delay of game. He's the guy watching the time clock. And Philo has elected to punt, which is a good decision here.
Definitely changed things up for sure. They will kick it away. And back fair catch called at the 13-yard line. Hauling that one in is return man Andrew Holden with no return yet again. He's called a couple fair catches for his team. Made a big 4th down catch, did Holden on the last possession. That became a Sheridan General score.
Okay, now as a defensive coordinator, now you have to rally your troops and say, okay, we didn't score. We had a penalty. We had to punt. But look where they're at. Let's turn the tables here. Let's get a 3-and-out now and make these guys punt the ball to us, and we'll take over at midfield, see how we do instead of having to drive the length of the field.
So they will officially place this one down at the 14-yard line.
I think I'd be looking for that trap up the gut right now.
Three receivers set here, only one lone setback, and that's Justin Munyon. Behind Packer, and he'll get it, will Munyon, and Munyon greeted right there at about the 15-yard line by the big fella Damon Myers, 6'2", 275-pound nose tackle. Let's see, we have flags too in this play.
Face mask on Philo. Philo was waiting for that trap up the middle. They were right there waiting on it. They played it perfectly, but somebody grabbed the face mask.
You'll see the replay here as Munyon goes forward, and Myers hit him hard at the 15, had help as well. Didn't really see the mask on the replay clearly, but it happened.
You know, I always wondered what bands did, rock and roll bands in their spare time, and now we see that ZZ Top, they referee games.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Standing out at the 30, you're referencing one of the guys in the stripes calling our game tonight. And no, that is not ZZ Top, but hey, we get the reference. Here we go. As they move to the 21 after that face mask of 5 yards, Sheridan with that pitch play on the option. And up to the 25, going to be close to a first down. Probably has it here. And that is going to be a first down for Sheridan.
Watch Drew Linscomb. He is in perfect position. No, it's 34. Who's 34? Braden Blakeney. He was in perfect position to make a play and got faked out and went for the inside play. You tell your guys, all your help's to the inside. If you're the guy on the outside, you're it. There's no one else there. Your assistant is the sideline. Use the sideline, and he did not. He let the man get outside of him, and a critical mistake.
And it was Spencer Showalter getting that pitch and picking up the short first down run of 4 yards to the 25. Back to pass, and Packer had his man in stride up near the 45, but goes through the hands and incomplete to the turf. Trying to haul that one in was Showalter, the guy who just got the pitch. He goes downfield, tries to make the catch.
Well, that's one of those plays where a guy either makes a catch and goes for a score, or somebody takes his helmet off. That is the danger zone, catching that ball over the middle like that.
Second down and 10, so Showalter getting some touches. The last play on a run. That play, incomplete pass thrown his way. Two receivers to the right, short side of the field. One lone back again, Munyon. Beside Packer, Showalter, they'll fake to him, and keeping this one moving forward to the 30, just chisels his way for about 5 yards, is Caden Sheridan, the junior quarterback, coming in for that call.
That was a variation of the counter tray that they used to run with their halfback. See the backside guard and tackle both pull, but there was penetration in the backfield, knocked a tackle off his course, and ruined the timing of the play.
And 5 yards for Sheridan. That's confusing. But Caden Sheridan got 5 yards there, yes. His last name is Sheridan, as Sheridan tries to move the ball 5 more yards for a first down here on 3rd and 5.
Well, thank goodness his cousin doesn't play for Philo. We would be confused.
And we have whistles and a timeout here called by Paul Culver III and his squad. At about the 10-minute mark left to go in our opening half, a one-score game where Reed Packer's 1-yard touchdown run in the late stages of the first quarter is our only score in this one, as the Generals look to make it 5 wins in a row. They're coming in on a 4-game winning streak. Their only trip up this year was in week 2 at home right here to Watkins Memorial when the Warriors snuck one away from them, 27-24 in a tight game. Licking Valley was their opener, a 7-point win there. Logan in week 3 took care of business 28-7. Morgan gave him a game, 18-13, 5-point game on the road in McConnellsville. John Glenn, they beat by 2 touchdowns 2 weeks ago, and obviously blasted Riverview. So Sheridan's been a lot of tight games aside from last week.
A lot of tight games. They could take a lesson from the Crooksville football scheduling people who we scheduled some pretty bad teams the first week or two of the season. These guys pick on 2 of the best teams in the area. That battle, Licking Valley, I mean, that's week one battle. That may be one of the best games in the state every year. And I can't imagine lining up in week one and playing a team of that caliber.
Yeah, very interesting. A head scratcher.
2 weeks in a row.
We'll talk about Philo's schedule and how they got to be 3-3 later on in this one. Right now, 3rd and 5 for Sheridan. Both teams come back out on the field after the timeout was called by the Generals. And out of the shotgun, wait for the man to go in motion, is Boyer from left to right. Looking downfield for Boyer. He caught him on a wheel route at the midfield stripe. 40, 35, 30. It's a foot race. 20. Running out of real estate and caught inside the red zone at about the 13-yard line or so. Generals knocking on the door for score number 2.
Is that their backup quarterback?
That was. It was Sheridan hitting Boyer.
That should be illegal to have a backup quarterback that good.
So Sheridan on. Caden Sheridan, the junior, hit him in stride. That was a beautiful play call. That worked all the way to the 10-yard line with a mark down Boyer's knee.
Well, that ball hit him in full stride. I mean, that was as smooth an offensive pass play as I've seen at any level for a long time.
First down and goal. Generals do not have to pick up a first down. They do have to score, however. As you have a man in motion, and then stopping to Showalter. He'll stay over there to the left, looks for their pitch, and down goes Sheridan at the 10, so Philo snuffs it out defensively.
Ty Moorhead made that tackle. They pulled the tight end from the backside to be the lead blocker that time, and somehow Ty Moorhead sneaked underneath that tight end's block and made the play.
Let's see if the Electrics here can come up with a big stop. Sheridan looking to make a 2-score lead, another touchdown. Put you on your heels a little bit if you're Philo coming in here trying to take one on the road on a General team that's hot with 4 straight wins.
I'm sure Coach Linscomb is hoping for a stand here, but if they get by with just a field goal, I think he'd be thrilled.
You betcha. Sheridan remains in the game, out of the gun.
Look out.
Fakes it, looking to pass right side of the end zone, in coverage over there. And he was looking for number 3, Showalter, at the pylon, and it's incomplete. Goes right through the hands and a little bit high.
Well, the guy who made the tackle on the previous play was the guy in coverage, Ty Moorhead, and he was right where he should have been. I mean, that ball would have had to been perfect to be caught, and I think it had been a better throw. I think Moorhead would have caught it.
And so now 3rd down and 10 for the Generals. So here we go. Is the Philo Electric defense bent? Will they break here? Big 3rd down for both teams. Into the first quarter, John Glenn 7 and Maysville 7. Other scores around the area. And New Lexington smacking Morgan around early on, 20-0. The end of 1. Here goes Sheridan on 3rd down and goal for the touchdown. How about that call? Alex Poirier scores. Say that one too quickly. 6'1 senior bangs it home. 205-pound frame.
Nice blocking. He just would not be denied.
Poirier pours it on. You saw the replay there for the 6.
I'm sure the Philo defense was looking for another pass play. I mean, who's this guy? I can't remember his name. Since Sheridan came in for Sheridan at quarterback, I mean, they've been throwing the ball, and it was a 3rd and long. They were looking for a pass, and, man, that was just a run right up the middle.
And tacking on point number 14 with the extra point is Spencer Showalter off the Andrew Holden hold, if you will. Sheridan 14-0 with 8 minutes and 35 seconds left to go still in our first half. Big answer by the Generals, and they did this going to 86 yards as they started with the football. They're in 14.
Well, they did exactly what Philo hasn't not been able to do. They maintain an offensive drive until they reach the end zone, and Philo just has not been able to do that. They'll have an outstanding play or two, and then it fizzles out.
So Alex Poirier there with a 10-yard touchdown run, increasing the Generals' lead here to 14-0. Just mentioned New Lexington taking care of business over Morgan, one of the other big games around the area on paper tonight. New Lex 5-1, Morgan 4-2 coming in. We'll see Morgan next week at West Muskingum. Much improved Tornado team under Coach Brownrigg these past 3 years, and we'll see them again. Should be a goodie next week. We've got a good one here tonight. However, the Electrics need to tighten things up on both sides of the ball. They have been shut out so far, and the Generals have picked up momentum offensively.
Well, they haven't Philo has not exhibited any ability to make a big play yet, so they haven't picked up any big chunk yardage plays, and they just, they just come up short in the first down category by a yard or two and have to punt the ball away.
Here's your ensuing kickoff. Fielded back outside the 20-yard line and a run back to about the 28. Multiple flags come flying in at about the 40-yard line, way upfield.
I would say both referees saw the same thing. It looks like a preliminary signal says holding versus the receiving team, Philo.
We have a moment when they sort out the flag here. Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Let's get the indication here. Well, maybe we will. Let's go back to more sponsors here. Norvell's Hearing Aid Centers in Zanesville, Cambridge, always here for you. Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always make it easier for you to furnish your home. And they're going to mark this one off. Obviously, it was on the electrics as we come back down on the field, so it doesn't make life easier for Coach Dirk Linsipken's club.
No, that's exactly what you don't want to happen after you give up your second score without having any of your own. A penalty on the kickoff return puts you inside the 20-yard line.
And oh, by the way, that New Lexington 20-0 lead over Morgan at the end of one. Hunter Rose, their star running back, 135 yards, 3 touchdowns, all in the first quarter of that game, included an 86-yard score.
I met Hunter just the other day at school, and if there's a human being more clean-cut than him, I've never seen one. He is a great-looking kid, and he is solid, no doubt about it.
That's a great-looking run by Blake Linkus, the 5'9 senior back for Philo. They got pinned back after the penalty at the 18. Moves it forward for 4. You mentioned Rose. We'll see Hunter Rose at New Lexington against the Sheridan Generals, oh, by the way, in Week 10. Will that solve things in the MVL standings and a playoff berth?
Oh, I tell you what, that will be that'll be a battle, no doubt about it. Both teams playing well this year, especially with New Lex playing their best football in years.
And that game will be right back here at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium in Thornville, so we'll be back here on October 21st.
Well, that play didn't look good from the start. The quarterback, running back mesh didn't look good. They kind of bumped into each other. The running back's momentum was stopped. That's never a good thing.
So no gain on second down. And Philo, 3rd and 6, backs against the wall.
Another tough third down situation for the Electrics. This is a situation when you're calling the defenses, you have a 2-touchdown lead, and it's 3rd and 6. They're backed up. Man, you can call anything you want, and here they come.
It's a fake. And on 3rd down, Preston passing towards that first down marker on the far sideline, and it's incomplete. Missed his intended target over there. Off the mark with that throw, and that's going to mean a 3-and-out punt for the Electrics, not what you want for them.
The other thing I saw in that play, Hank, was had the receiver caught it, his momentum would have taken him out of bounds. He'd been at least 1 yard, if not 2, short of the first down. I mean, in that situation, you have to get to the first down yardage to make your cut.
Yeah, the out route was a little bit short, wasn't it?
Even if it had been completed, it would not have been a first down.
Well, finally going to punt after the incompletion instead. Here on point, it's a high snap. Woo. And a shoe has come flying off, a left shoe actually, the non-kicking shoe for the punter. He's able to get it off without pressure somehow, despite a high snap and that happening, and it will take a down touch over here at the 44-yard line of Sheridan where the Generals will take over. So a little bit of strangeness down there on the field with that.
Well, the punter did a great job just to snare that snap out of midair. That thing was really high. And he kind of peeled out of his left shoe, man.
Literally. And it turned out to be a no run-back return for Sheridan. So one thing tonight, Philo's punts have not meant Sheridan's special teams have been able to get any type of return, but that hasn't mattered to this point on the scoreboard.
Well, they're controlling field position. Look, they're starting now at their own 44-yard line. They're in 4-down territory after 1 first down, probably.
And it was
defense is playing great, so their offense can just do whatever they want. Here, look out.
Look out again. Same connection. It could have been Sheridan to Boyer, but not this time. Boyer couldn't hang on at the Philo 31. It was a 34-yard punt, by the way, for Philo with no return moments ago. But look at this replay. Boy, did he sell that fake to Munyon, and then Boyer got open. Just didn't happen.
Wow. I mean, you have to honor that fake if you're a linebacker. I mean, you have to. You can't ignore that fake. And when you step up, that means there's no underneath coverage whatsoever, and it's a clear passing lane. And I wonder if there's something wrong with Reed Packer. I thought I saw him stretching out on the field after his last series,
And so he remains out of the game. And you're right, Doug. Remains to be seen if there's more to the story for Reed Packer. Here's a run from Munyon. More to the story is a first down run over into Philo territory. And that'll continue to move the chains. Take another look. A big scamper for double digits.
I couldn't find any Philo guys. They're all sealed off. Great job of blocking. It looked like Sheridan pulled about 17 blockers on that play, and they just roared around that corner, student body right. There was no one there to stop the play.
14 yards on that run for Munyon. And, the Generals offense chugging along again here. As they get moving, lining up in the backfield again, behind Sheridan at QB is Munyon. You have three receivers, two to the left-hand side, and coming in motion from right to left is Ruff. It's going to be a fake and a keep and a pitch over to Ruff, and Ruff gets leveled, but he did pick up about 5 to the 37.
Well-executed option play by the Generals, no doubt about it.
Another peek at this one, and trying to keep you on your toes. A lot of times you keep it. Well, not this time. Decided to deliver to Ruff.
Yep. They even pulled a lineman that time and kind of go out, lead block a little bit. I mean, that's young Coach Culver gets all those things. Honestly, I tell you what, his father ran an option series that was just we would come over for a reserve game. Coach Ross brought our team over. He said he saw kids that looked like they were like 7 years old running the triple option all over the field.
We're going to have a timeout called by Coach Paul Culver III and his team here with just over 6 minutes left to go in our opening half. You mentioned he's now in his 7th year, is Culver III. Playoffs in 5 of his first 6 full seasons as head coach since taking over in 2016 after Paul Culver Jr. hung it up and retired at the end of the 2015 season, a triple OT victory over New Lexington back then. Lost coach this past year, and but son doing very proud, and many things go through your mind, I'm sure, when you think of Coach Paul Culver Jr. and over the years. But the Culver name lives on, and he's doing well. He's 54-17 overall, including 5-1 this year so far.
Well, when I did my usual pregame talk with the coaches, we talked very little football. We just talked about his father, and Paul Culver raised the standard of coaching in the NVL tremendously. He raised the caliber of play in our conference. Was a great coach, dedicated, loved his players. And I tell you what, I think the best tribute to him is you talk to his former players. It's beyond respect. It's almost reverence when they speak about him. And he did a great job of coaching, but he did a great job of transitioning boys into men.
Certainly did. 35 years. Coach Paul Culver Jr. at the helm of Sheridan and hung it up in 2015. Lost him this year. The legendary one, the field named after him. And here's a first down by Sheridan. Back to action after that timeout. And they go to one of their other receivers they like here. It's Spencer Showalter for this one. As Sheridan continues to throw the football with Caden Sheridan for that.
Well, not only are they throwing the football well, they're throwing the football to receivers who are wide open. I mean, there's no one on them. And it's almost a pass and catch type of play. There's been a couple of contested plays by the Philo defense, but some of these completions, the guys are wide open.
And that moves the chains up to the Philo 21, just outside the red zone. Now banging in the red zone is number 20, Munyon, inside that 20. Is 20 down to the 16-yard line. 5 more yards for him. So great balance by Sheridan running and passing the football here in this half.
Here comes a tight end lined up as a slot as a lead blocker. The big number 70 almost makes the play. Bryce Rayner just about had the ball carrier in the backfield, but that arm tackle wasn't going to stop that ball carrier.
Justin Munyon getting the carry there. He's gotten a lot of totes here in his first half. He's a junior, 6'1", 185-pound frame. Jason Munyon, All-Ohio season first-teamer last year, school's all-time leader in career rushing, touchdowns, and yards. He graduated. What a career he had as the Munyons continue to move along with the name. And here a 1-yard gain on second down to the 15 as Sheridan looks for score number 3 towards the end of this first half.
Well, that was a low snap. Caden Sheridan is coming up a little slow. I mean, he got squashed. Looked like number 40 put the big hit on him. Ty Moorhead. Ty Moorhead's a good football player, and he put the hit in there, and Sheridan got up slowly. And he's still a little limpy.
3rd down and 4. We got whistles here on the field prior to the snap. It's another timeout by Sheridan. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the last, and it is. That is the last timeout called for Sheridan, the 3rd and final here at about 4:25 left to go in this opening half.
Well, that's a good timeout. Let your quarterback kind of recuperate a little bit. Right now, Coach Culver knows that a 3rd touchdown score here, and it'll be time to call the dogs and throw a bucket of water on the fire.
Yeah, I mentioned Jason Munyon there a moment ago. He's no longer here at Sheridan, graduated and all-time leading rusher in yards and touchdown maker. I mean, we've had a lot of good backs and running historically here at Sheridan, as we've known, and you do as well around this Muskegon Valley League. He had 157 yards last year in that 32-21 win over Philo, and it was only 14. It was 14-14 a year ago at halftime before things went in Sheridan's favor on the road at Sam Hatfield Stadium. Different story and sight tonight. The Electrics going to have to play come-from-behind football down 14. They hope that's it. Sheridan looks to bang it in again with a 3rd down at the 15.
Well, Philo's offense has really not moved at all. I mean, they haven't. Was the last series 3 and out?
3 and out.
Yep. That's tough. You can't even get into a pattern of what's working for you if you just get 3 plays and then you have to give the ball away.
3rd down 4. Munyon, Justin's turn, and he'll dance in for 6, nearly untouched, as Sheridan increases the lead to 20-0.
Well, I'd say that good timeout graduated to the great timeout stage right there. Nice call by Coach Culver, great execution, good blocking, and well, that's it. Munyon, it was I bet he gets an A in geometry, because that was definitely the closest distance between 2 points deal, because that was a straight line touchdown.
I just go reminding you and just talk it up, Jason. And now it's Justin Munyon's turn for the scores. Hey, don't forget about me. I still am just a junior, got next year as well, to try to erase the record books.
Oh, man.
Long way to go there. But he scored a 6th there on a 15-yard touchdown on 3rd and 4. Extra point up. Extra point is also good again. 3 for 3 tonight on extra points. Generals 21-0 as we're just over 4 minutes left to go here in this first half. Things falling apart here for Coach Drew Lincecum's Philo Electrics. As you see them down on the scoreboard, they need an answer, and they need it quick. We're going to step aside for our sponsors now. City Tire Pros, serving our community since 1953. When you think tires, think City Tire Pros. Denny's Classic Diner, America's favorite diner in Zanesville and Cambridge. The instant replays are brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union, and the halftime show about to come up here for you is the CA House Music. Play music for life. Morgan at West End next week. We've had some good ones in the game of the week the last 3 weeks. Not looking that way here tonight. A lot of football still left to go. Let's see if Philo, Doug, has an answer before the half.
They need to do something here. They have 4:18 left in the first half. That's going to be a somber locker room on the Philo side, that's for sure.
That was a 56-yard scoring drive for the Sheridan Generals. So they've gone 52 yards on their scoring drive in the first quarter, 86 and 56 here in quarter 2 for the scores. So they've gone a decent amount of real estate here tonight, racking up the yards.
Well, their offense just looks like it's in sync. I mean, the passing game's working. We have a different quarterback in. There's been no drop in production. The passing game's working. The running game is outstanding. Their offense is clicking.
And capped off on the last score by the 15-yard touchdown run by Justin Munyon. Hang on here. A short, high kick. Fair caught by the Electrics at the 36-yard line. Definitely got you on your toes and get you seeing something different that you don't typically see off the tee right there. Not by design.
Well, we've had some interesting kicks tonight. Punters without shoes. I mean, that looked like a spiraling, I don't know what that was.
Wounded duck.
We have an injured player on the field. I don't think it was from contact. I don't even know if anybody hit anybody.
Official timeout on the field for the injured player, and it's number 29, Colton Reedy, who had ripped off a couple of good first quarter runs. Sophomore for Sheridan there, injured down on the ground at about the 38-yard line at the 4:16 mark here left in the first half of a Sheridan 21-0 lead. And with the injury timeout, okay, if they hadn't got Reedy off, we were going to take one as well. Looks like Reedy's up on his feet, and he'll come off here at least for one play.
It looks to me like he has the classic wind knocked out of the lungs.
So he gets helped off. Like you said, might have had that wind knocked out of him. Good to see him back up moving. There you see on the screen now, Reedy making his way to the sidelines for Coach Culver III's team. And here we go now. Philo time at the 39-yard line off that short kickoff. Let's see if they can get something going. Their best field position really of the night to start with, and not doing so on first down. They're going to lose 3 yards here on their first play.
Well, that was a great read by the linebacker. There it is, number 33 for Sheridan. Wow, what a read. Bo Hayden, he read that immediately and was across and through there, and now we have a Philo player down.
Not a good sign. Laying on one side of the body here. The injured Electric player at the 35-yard line. So loss of 3 on first down. More medical attention on the field means we're going to take a timeout this time. For our sponsors, you're immersed in the Community Bank Game of the Week. 21-0. It's all Sheridan over Philo to this point.
So, what do you think?
We're prepared to offer cash.
When you get great deals at Denny's,
$5.99.
You'll start to expect great deals everywhere. New all-day diner deals starting at $5.99. 10 delicious meals, only at Denny's.
Don and Sue started in 1972. It's been around a long time. Just a good pizza. We want to keep it going. A lot of the families come in with their kids after the YMCA games, after North Catholic games, after North Wildcat games, scoreboards and all the old Volkswagens. And it's just a neat atmosphere here. The community bank has helped me so much with not even only this purchase. I started a relationship with Jim Holman there a couple years ago. He is in here all the time. He knew this would work, and that's why they weren't nervous at all to jump right in and give us a loan.
Mom, softball's over. What am I going to do next?
School's about to start. Why don't we try band?
I'm going into the 5th grade this year, and I think I want to do band.
Awesome. Let's see which instrument fits you best.
I've had the privilege of being here for 9+ years. Of all the graduations I've been to across all schools, it's the most festive of all, because for a lot of these young people, they didn't know if they were going to be able to graduate. So the impact to our culture and communities too that comes from the very beginning, because there is a lot of schools that aren't really adept or equipped to be able to care for and handle some of the needs that these young people bring, whereas Foxfire is.
Grandchildren say some of the cutest things.
Don't miss out on any of them just because you can't hear.
Call us at Norvell's for a free hearing aid consultation.
Because when it comes to your grandchildren, you don't want to miss a thing.
Norvell's Hearing Aid Center, we're always here for you.
At Denny's, we're open to being extra by bringing all your favorite fall flavors together. With sweet pecan sauce and real pumpkin mash, you'll fall for this breakfast. Social Stars influence.
It's good.
Extra good. So pumpkin pancakes. Only at Denny's.
Well, the injured Philo Electric player was Max Zimmerman, a 5'11", 160-pound senior running back. So Max Zimmerman had to be helped off the field. As we're back to action, the Electrics turning forward and charging ahead to the 50-yard line. One of their best offensive plays in the night on that run right there by Blake Linkus.
That was an outstanding play. They got the perimeter blocked. He came around the corner untouched. It was a good play. That's what they have to string together.
So a 14-yard rip by Linkus. This is a very important drive for the Electrics. They want to get themselves back into it, 1 score at a time, down 3 scores, 21-0. Here's a handoff to Searles, who came in motion from left to right, trying to turn on the afterburners around the edge and couldn't get anywhere but a yard forward into Sheridan territory at the 49 where he was upended.
Great pursuit by the defense. You saw that it was just like a line of red shirts across that field. Had he cut in, they were waiting on him. Here he comes. There's the next guy. There's the next guy. I mean, great job of defense, running to the football.
And the finishing tackle made by Andrew Holden down low to hold him to a yard there on that play for Searles. 2 backs set the backfield, looking to pass Preston out of the gun. Got time, left sideline for Searles. Searles with a little bump off, no call downfield, as that one falls incomplete off the mark.
When Searles ran it out and up, ran down about 5 yards, cut to the outside, and turned up immediately. The defender is having none of it. He was all over that.
On the coverage down there for Sheridan, A.J. Winders, 6'2" defensive back. And so it'll be 3rd and 9 for Philo here at the Sheridan 49-yard line. Just over 3 minutes left to go in our first half. With 21-0 Sheridan whitewashing to this point here, dominating here at the outset. Preston back to pass, and he's flushed, and he's going to take off and scoot forward for a first down and then some. 35-30, what a cut! And Preston gets down to the 26-yard line for 23 yards on 3rd and long.
Boy, if Philo ever needed a play like that, that was it right there. Great job by the young quarterback. Good read, get up in there, outrun a few people, make a few moves, run over a tackler or two. All right, nice job.
And so the Electrics' furthest penetration of the night after that run to the 26 for a 3rd down and 9 conversion. Actually, they're going to mark it at the 25, give him 24 in the scorebook. Here's Preston again. He's going to hand this one off this time to Lincecum, and Lincecum able to bully his way forward somehow with that upper body for a yard when it looked like he was going to lose a yard.
Well, that might be the best 2-yard run we've seen all year.
Take a look there. I mean, the general defense, the hats are everywhere, swarming.
They've always been that way. I've always thought you could block their linebackers, knock them down, and they'll make the tackle in the hole for a 1 or 2 yard gain. I mean, they're just – I always thought they were almost unblockable. They just won't stay blocked.
And so Philo facing a 2nd down and long after the short gain on 1st down by Lincecum, and nothing doing again here on 2nd down for Lincecum. So tough sledding for him, maybe 1 more yard.
I think that was a read by the quarterback, and I think he wanted to keep the ball. I think he believed he had an opening, and he couldn't get the ball away from Lincecum.
Well, 3rd down and 8 for the Electrics. Under 2 minutes and counting. You see the score and time situation here on the Community Bank Game of the Week on WHIZ TV, Facebook Live as well. And 3rd down coming. You think it's 4-down territory. It's a handoff here on 3rd to get 8 yards, making tacklers miss and then getting banged forward. That's going to be close to the marker. Might be just short where Linkus falls down at about the 17.
Oh, he's a good 3 yards short.
Yeah, they're going to mark him.
No timeouts, and it's 4th down. You got to get the play in, and you have to convert right now.
Yeah, they're going to mark him down at the 18, right, Doug? They need 3 yards on 4th.
I thought he was a lot closer than that too, Hank, when that last tackler hit him and knocked him forward another 2 yards.
And timeout called now on the field by Philo. They had 2 remaining. They're down to 1.
Okay.
Sheridan out of timeouts for what it's worth.
Okay, I saw that 0 for timeouts. I thought that was Philo, but you're right. They had 2 left, so they have a 1:02 left and 1 timeout and 4th down.
So key play here coming for Coach Lincecum's Philo team. How did they get here to be 3-3 coming into this contest tonight? They won their opener handily at home against Athens 47-6. Then they lost 3 in a row, all by 1 score or less. They lose at Carrollton in week 2, 14-7. They lose by a digit at home to Morgan 7-6. Then they lose by a handful at Riverview 20-15 before winning these last 2 weeks against West Em and handily over Crooksville 28-6 a week ago.
And those are all teams that have good records. I think Carrollton's 5-1 now.
They are. Yep.
Morgan's having their best year in a decade.
Yep.
So they didn't lose to slouches. So I mean they played some tough teams early, but the remainder of their schedule is no cakewalk either. They have some tough games ahead.
Yeah. Well, next week it's Tri-Valley, 5-1.
Tough game right now.
Tough game now, tough game next week. 4th down, it's a botch, and it's going to hurt the Electrics, and they're going to fail on downs as Searles couldn't get the hand off the snap.
That is so frustrating. You burn a timeout. You know your team needs to score before the half, and you don't even get an opportunity because of a bad snap.
Electrics needed 3 on 4th down. You come out from the TO. That happens. You fail on downs. They're going to mark it a loss of 8 to the 26, and Sheridan has under a minute to play with and see if they can come down and try to get something quickly on top of things. But that was a blown and squandered opportunity for Philo for sure.
No doubt about it. Well, Sheridan can't stop the clock. They're out of timeouts. 56 seconds to go. You know, I can see him maybe throwing that one of those quick hitter pass plays in the seam because they connect on it. It could be a touchdown from right here.
Shotgun, and look at a pass to Sheridan, and he goes backwards off his hind leg, throws this one out of bounds as he threw it in the direction of Drew Boyer, who's made big plays in this first half.
Well, they were going for that seam pattern all the way. There's the two receivers coming back to the huddle. I mean, they were going up the field. There were no, they weren't running curl patterns, but they were headed for the far end. And Sheridan did a nice job throwing that thing out of bounds instead of scrambling around and getting sacked. That may have ended the half. So now they have another chance. Looks like they're going to go for it, too.
Live for another play. Second down and 10 to throw, 26. 3 receivers now to the left. The 4 receivers set, and Munyon, the lone back, gets the carry, and Lincecum takes him right in the sternum backwards after he got forward penetration for 3.
Well, that was an interesting call. That tells me that Coach Culver's not as excited about going for that 4th score now as he was on first down.
There you see the replays. The clock runs away here. Like you said, now we're inside of 30 seconds. No hurry now from the Generals. And that play really dictated things as Munyon could not bust the big one.
Well, they have an opportunity. Well, they're going into victory formation here. The tailback is 10 yards deep. We'll see what happens here.
4 receivers, 3 to the top of your screen to the left. Philo 3 down lineman. Using all that clock as we're inside of 10 seconds left in the half. And they will snap it and put a knee on it. We'll put a knee on the first half. That's how the first half here in Thornville at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium comes to a close. All Sheridan to this point pitching a goose egg, the shutout of the Philo Electrics that came into town here looking for the upset. Both teams are riding high. Sheridan winners of 4 straight, Philo 2 in a row, but it's all Sheridan. It's lopsided here at the half. And we've reached the halftime point. That means it's time for our halftime show presented by CA House Music. Play music for life. When Doug and I come back, give you analysis of the first half and some highlights as well, how the Generals look to be moving on to another victory.
So, what do you think?
We're prepared to offer cash.
When you get great deals at Denny's,
$5.99.
you'll start to expect great deals everywhere. New all-day diner deals starting at $5.99. 10 delicious meals, only at Denny's.
If you attended school in the state of Ohio, you may qualify to become a member of the Ohio Educational Credit Union. From elementary to high school, trade school through college, we're not just for teachers anymore. So come see us at the Ohio Educational Credit Union.
One of the benefits of being an independent agent, if your rate goes up at your renewal, we can shop it with other companies to keep your price and your costs down.
We've got over a dozen carriers here that we represent. We call that the power of choice.
We have the ability and flexibility to do what's best for you.
By directly representing several reputable insurance companies like Grange, we can put your interests first when insuring your auto, home, business, or life. Call Williamson Insurance Service, representing Grange Insurance in Zanesville, Newark, and Pataskala.
It is so sweet. It just makes the world a sweeter place, one chocolate at a time. Nothing but chocolate. We started in 2004. I want to not be the norm. I want to step it up. I want to be better than anything that they're used to. Lovely thing about the community bank is they know what you're kind of going through, so they are very supportive. As a business owner, the pressure of the world is on your shoulder every day. We get that support from the community bank.
Your locally owned Tire Pros, City Tire Zanesville, Coshocton City Tire, and Buckeye Tire Pros of Cambridge have the largest inventory in a 3-county area. They offer a simple, straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, hassle-free experience, and a vast selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you've driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need, and we offer service for your commercial vehicles to keep your business rolling.
When you need tires, think of us, your locally owned tire dealers.
At Denny's, we're open to being extra by bringing all your favorite fall flavors together. With sweet pecan sauce and real pumpkin mash, you'll fall for this breakfast. Social Stars influenced.
It's good.
Extra good. So pumpkin pancakes. Only at Denny's.
The Philo High School Marching Band.
Please welcome to the field the Philo High School Marching Band. The marching band is under the direction of Aaron Brenning, Assistant Director Carrie Scott, Percussion Instructor Zach Brenning, and Color Guard Instructor Amanda Cox, with Field Commander Theo Chevalier and with the title song from this year's show, Come On Play by The Offspring.
from Sheridan Middle School. Today, we'd like to start off with your marching generals performing 2 songs with a country music flair. Featuring members of our trumpet section, here is the John Denver classic, Take Me Home, Country Roads.
Find the car you want now.
The truck you want now. The travel trailer you want now at finksqualityautos.com.
Find the performance you want now.
Luxury you want now. Economy you want now at finksqualityautos.com.
Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, even travel trailers. Get the vehicle you want for less at Finks.
Find it now at Finks or online at finksqualityautos.com. Quick as a wink, deal with Finks.
When it comes to your health and well-being, everyone can use a helping hand. That's why Northside Pharmacy goes the extra mile to safeguard your health and wellness. From advice on proper use of your medications to keeping our community safe, we've got you covered. Day or night. Northside, your pharmacy for life.
Mom, softball's over. What am I going to do next?
School's about to start. Why don't we try band?
I'm going into the 5th grade this year, and I think I want to do band.
Awesome. Let's see which instrument fits you best.
Do you have to ask your wife or husband to repeat everything she says or he says? Don't get mad. Call us at Norvell's Hearing Aid Center in Zanesville or Cambridge for a free hearing aid consultation.
Norvell's, helping save marriages for over 50 years.
Buckeye Apparel is a local screen printing embroidery shop. My brother and I started in my parents' basement. We started with the apparel and then it led to our Mark of Valor, which is our motorsports themed apparel. Then it led into our locality store. As soon as I met with the community bank, I could tell that they cared about what I had going on, the projects, the business that I had going on. If you shop local, choose local, and bank local, it keeps your money back in your own pocket.
Welcome back to the Community Bank Game of the Week here on WHIZ TV and Facebook Live. You see the score in the bottom left-hand corner, brought you by Finks Family of Businesses, 21-0. Sheridan Generals cruising to the first half lead over the Philo Electrics, pitching the shutout. With Doug Clifford, I'm Hank Alphen once again for the Game of the Week here. And right now, Sheridan 5-1 coming in, winners of 4 straight. Philo 3-3, winners of 2 straight. It's been a one-sided affair through one half. And Doug, you look at it, Sheridan scored first in the first quarter on a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Reed Packer, the starting quarterback for the Generals. He has been since changed out of this game. Alex Poyer scored from 10 yards out in the second quarter. That completed an 86-yard Sheridan drive, so they bumped the lead up to 14-0 with 8 minutes and 35 seconds left to go until halftime. And then finishing the first half scoring and a 56-yard scoring drive for the Generals was Justin Munyon on a 15-yard touchdown run. And that's where we stand. 21-0 Generals all over the Electrics in your assessment of the first half.
Well, everything Sheridan has done on offense has worked. They even switched out their quarterbacks, which John Ulmer, their PA guy, so that's normal for them. That's standard operating procedure. Both quarterbacks play. So they didn't miss a beat. Usually you put a different quarterback in, something has to change, usually for the negative, but not with the Generals. Yeah, and on the other side of the ball, Philo just can't get anything going offensively, and it's probably as a direct result of the defense from Sheridan. Sheridan's defense is in position. They're not getting tricked. They have good leverage on the ball carriers. They're covering the receivers. They're doing a great job. So Sheridan's offense and defense is both clicking tonight, and Philo just can't get untracked offensively.
And so the Electrics will start here, 1st and 10 in the second half, down 3 scores, looking to get something sustained. And on first down, they run the football, minimal gain of a couple yards. They start the 23, get to the 25 on the first down carry. So not much doing again, just what we saw in the first half, that general defense making the tough going for Philo offensively.
Well, they're definitely winning the battle at the line of scrimmage on most of the offensive plays. The success Philo has had has been on runs, to the outside on the perimeter. They've not gained much up the middle.
2nd down and 8. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, looking to pass and air it out and sling it. It's Preston, middle of the field, incomplete. Misses intended target. It was slanting across the middle of the field in Case Fink.
Well, Fink was open. He ran a good route. He was open. The ball is overthrown, and luckily, we have a penalty too?
Yeah, and it looks like it's on the Electrics, so let's see if they'll decline it, make a third and long, or take it. And they will take the penalty with the Sheridan defense. It could have been 3rd and 8, and they'll push them back instead. Field position based here.
Oh, no doubt about it. Plus, the lack of success Philo has had moving the ball, I'm sure the confidence on the defensive staff for Sheridan is riding high right now. So it's 2nd down and about 20 to go. I think Sheridan will take those odds.
Absolutely. 2nd down and long. After the penalty on the Electrics, looking to get into passes. Preston, he's going to be sacked back there, or is he? Somehow he avoids it. And he's ducking and running for cover and taking Generals with him up to the 15-yard line. I don't know how he was able to avoid that sack and get positive yardage. Do you?
Well, he turned that sack into a 1 or 2 yard gain. I don't know how in the world he did it. I thought he was down 3 different times.
Well, and you look at it right here again. Well, pump fake, duck, under. Have that jersey pulled a couple times. Can't get you at the ankles. Nope, you missed me. I duck again. And then pure strength, taking 3 Generals and a teammate with him for positive yardage.
Wow.
Well, all that, and it's still 3rd and long. 3rd down, 17 for Philo at the 15. They need to cash in here. Pass play downfield, caught by Searles, middle of the field, the 25, tripped up quickly and well short of the 1st down.
Nice tackle there, A.J. Winders. Just keep the guys in front of you. It's 4th down. If they catch the ball for short yards like that, it's no big deal. They have to punt the ball away. 4th and 7. Another great defensive stand by the Generals, aided by a holding penalty.
So the General defense does their job with a 3 and out. Philo down 3, scores, kicking it away again, fielding it on the fly, holding down the sideline, and he's wrestled down up high. Here comes a late flag off the tackle at about the Philo 38.
Yes, Andrew Holden let the referee know right away, and the referee had already seen it. I wondered when that was going to happen, the return. Those kicks are short. They don't go very high. The receiver gets it really quickly, and that time he timed it perfectly and had a nice return, and it's only going to get better.
And so tack on more yardage here, and, the Generals are going to be setting up in a great situation to start this second half with their first possession just a few minutes into this 3rd quarter as they mark it off to the 24-yard line of Philo, 15 yards from the spot of the tackle and the foul where it occurred.
It's called being your own worst enemy. It's tough enough to play defense from, your 40-yard line, but when the team lines up on your 25, that makes it really tough.
So you see Reed Packer back in the game at a quarterback. Played a lot in the first, but not in the second. He fakes, he runs, and he's already making a difference here on the first offensive play for his team with a 1st down up near the 11.
Well, I would say that's the best 2 quarterbacks I've seen for a long time in the same game, and unfortunately they play for the same team for Philo. Wow.
What a duo for this Generals team. You go from Packer to Caden Sheridan there in the 2nd quarter, and Sheridan's the junior, Packer's the senior, a nice 1-2 punch. And Packer back in there, ran that one down there for 13 to the 11. So they can pick up a 1st down outside the goal line, but they want to get it all right here. Bunyan knocks it home as he runs it in, running between the tackles on the left side for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
He even looks like his brother. Big, tall, rangy kid, and he just runs up in there. Boom. He's not afraid to take a hit.
No, that contact there made all for naught. Could not stop him from getting into pay dirt. For a 2nd time tonight, Justin Munyon, this time from 11 yards out. He had a 15-yarder in the 2nd quarter, so Sheridan increases that lead to 27-0, looking to balloon it to 28 with the PAT.
What was that, 2-play drive?
2-play drive, 24 yards, all that was needed for the Generals, as they also were helped out by a 15-yard penalty on the Electrics on the return. Here's the 4th extra point attempt, try up and good for Spencer Showalter, and Sheridan is showing Philo how to get it done. It's 28-0 tonight. They're coming off a 53-14 win over Riverview last week. They are gearing up for postseason football, it looks here to the Sheridan Generals right now at this point in Week 7.
Well, they're definitely making their presence known for the stretch run of the season. This is when you really want to be playing your best football. You want to be as healthy as you possibly can be. But, the stretch run, this is it. This is week 7, and they have big games the rest of the year. They have the big game at the end of the year with New Lex coming up. But they'll take them one at a time. And right now they're taking the full measure of the Philo Electrics. I did not think it was going to be a 28-0 game at this point. I thought it would be a much closer game.
I'm right with you. You mentioned games up ahead New Lexington we get in Week 10 and the Perry County rivalry that these two have in the season finale at the end of the year that we'll have. Tri-Valley's in Week 9, and next week they go to Maysville. Maysville's 3-3, kind of a Jekyll and Hyde type team that we've seen like Philo. Right now, Philo hiding, but give Sheridan a lot of credit. They are putting the foot and the stomp down here on the Electrics tonight.
Yes, they are. Well, did I see Maysville was ahead tonight?
Yeah, we had some halftime scores we want to pass along to you. Just got those in a few minutes back. And, Maysville was up 21-7 on John Glenn. Tri-Valley 16-7 over Riverview. 26-7 all New Lexington over Morgan. Coshocton 34 at Meadowbrook 7. And Licking Heights pitching a shutout 27-0 over the Zanesville Blue Devils. Devils on the road tonight. Here's the return by the Electrics and a trip up there on the run back just over the 30 to about the 31. Depends upon the spot where they'll mark it. Well, Philo backed up again, and you just give up a score after 3 and out, not how you script it.
No, and you have to convince your kids, maintain your poise, fire out on the offensive line, protect the football. Let's just get what we can get, do the best we can. Don't worry about the score. Just go out and play well. Play the best of your ability and finish this thing up the way you should. Right now, we're not even at the halfway mark of the third quarter.
There was a lot of time left in this game. One score at a time, but Philo didn't do themselves any favors as they had to kick it away, 3 and out on offense, and then gave up a 2-score scoring drive on a short field. And here's a play that goes awry, to say the least, for Talon Preston.
Well, that was a quarterback keep. He faked the handoff, went around the right end, and the ball he just lost control of the ball. He doesn't get hit. Well, he does. I guess number 20 does put a hit on him a little bit. He must have hit directly on the football. Oh, Justin Munyon. Boy, he's just a real nuisance for the Electrics tonight.
Yeah, Munyon did stick a hand in there, forced that one to pop up and out of bounds. And, for Progress, they're going to mark this one at the 21-yard line. So Philo Electric's going the wrong direction. That was a loss of 9. 2nd and 19, Preston out of the gun. Couple backs back there with him. It's a handoff to the deep back, looking for room. Linkus, nowhere to go. And you might have picked up a yard to the 22.
Boy, those last two plays, that's just kind of a composite of the entire offensive evening for the Electrics. They just can't get out of their own way.
A microcosm of the night. Yeah.
And, wow.
It's 3rd and long again for Philo. They need 18 yards. They got to get up to the 40-yard line to maintain possession here and avoid a 4th down. Out of the gun with 3 receivers out there and one back slipping out of the backfield, looking to run his pressure right side, and he's going to bang forward past the 30 where he's taken down with the momentum near the 32. Going to be well short. Got half of those yards back on 3rd and long.
Nice tackle by Colton Reedy. He kind of took the brunt of that hit, but he brought the quarterback down to bring up a 4th down play. And the punt team comes on for Philo.
And they have been busy tonight. On the last day of September here, we flip the script and the calendar in October tomorrow, next week.
I can't get over it.
I know.
It's week 7, and it's still October in Ohio. I mean, that's just, I can't get over it.
It's true. Used to seeing games ending end of October. It's going to end on the 21st, regular season. Here we go, off the bounce. A great return by Holden, and then he is fired down by the shoulder pad in Philo territory along the sidelines of the Generals.
Well, we're going to have another flag on the play. And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike call against somebody. The tackle, of course, went into the Sheridan bench, and I saw some guys having words. We'll see which way the flag goes.
Well, Sheridan's going to have great field position again. Let's see how they sort this one out. But this one's probably pretty obvious the way that ended. On the sidelines right there at the Sheridan bench.
I think the best Philo can hope for is offsetting penalties. Personal foul.
You're right. How about that?
Yeah, personal foul on Sheridan.
So a interesting decision being made there. You see off the bounce. Look at this run by Holden. And then watch this. Thrown down the jersey and the arm, but clean enough it didn't warrant a flag. What did was here at the end.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of Sheridan players were trying to pull the tackler off the ball carrier like an emergency squad. The referee said, we don't need that.
And instead, Sheridan will start still with good field position, but on their side of the field, and after the penalty on them.
Sheridan in at quarterback for Sheridan.
And here goes the QB Sheridan running forward near the midfield stripe. Good first down run. Give him 8. Crosses over to the electric 49-yard line, a couple yards shy of the first. So, a little bit quicker here on the trigger is Coach Culver III flipping the quarterbacks already here in the quarter.
Well, so what do you think, Hank, about the quarterbacks? Which one do you think is the better passer? Which do you think is the better runner?
I think right now I've seen enough just from the second quarter that maybe Caden Sheridan might be the better passer, but we've just seen glimpses here in this game.
Well, I was going to say Reed Packard looks to me like the better runner.
And I agree with that. In motion and handing off instead to the back in the backfield. And this is a nice spin move on a first down run further along in Philo territory on the sidelines at about the 40-yard line. Making that carry it was Colton Reedy as he gets his number called again.
Outside stretch play. I see Justin Munion's on the sideline with his helmet off, but he ran down on the coach just in case you might need me, coach. But not yet.
Reedy with a good chunk there. Marked out at the 39. Link has tried to get a hand in there and strip it away. Unsuccessful for Philo on that run.
Sheridan has run a lot of plays, but they've not run a lot of different plays. I mean, it's a very, very conservative play calls as far as the number of plays. That time was the counter play, and it went nowhere.
Back to Reedy for a yard.
Nice play that time by Zach Savage for Philo.
You can hear the physicality on that last hit right there and stop for a yard. Philo, a very physical football team, knew that coming in. Sheridan always seems to be that case, although they gave up 25 points a game last year, and that was one thing they had to change this year if they want to make a deeper run. Last year they were an 8-2 playoff team, got bounced by DeSales in the first round of the playoffs. Generals will line up with 3 receivers to the left side here on 2nd and 9. As the remaining in the game, another shotgun is Caden Sheridan. He's going to hand it off to Reedy. Reedy again, big busting hole. He's got a first down run and then some. Tough to get the little guy down, and he'll get up to the 26 as he rips off about a dozen more.
Well, that's the second time I've seen a Philo defender grab for the football instead of making the tackle. I mean, it'd be great to cause a fumble, but see if we can hear. See the
right there.
Right there, just grabbing at the ball, and that's not going to get the job done.
Sheridan ball security has been very good to this point. In fact, it's been pretty much a clean game. Sheridan did throw an interception back in their first quarter on 4th down on their opening possession, only turnover of the game. Here goes the run again back to Reedy. So Reedy getting a lot of work here in this third quarter.
Well, he's the workhorse right now, that's for sure.
Shorter gain, if you want to call it that, still a good 5 yards. I mean, a handful being a shorter run for him says a lot. He's been picking them up in big bunches here on this drive.
It looks like Coach Culver is trying to get one of his assistants is trying to get a message across to some of the guys about something. I couldn't tell what he was trying to get across, but he had about half the offense looking at him.
And so they'll mark this with the nose of the pigskin at the 20. Put it in the books for 6. 2nd and 4. Reedy remains the deep back behind Sheridan out of the gun. And here comes a fake, keep, Sheridan, option play left, and he goes down. It will pick up a few inside the red zone to the 18.
Boy, that is a wide open option play. I mean, that is that pitch, the quarterback pitch relationship with his tailback. I mean, that is really almost lateral. If he makes that pitch, the pitch man, the ball carrier would be almost as advanced as a quarterback on that. But so far, I think they've only pitched it one time.
Yeah. And he kept it that time for a couple more yards to the 18. Now 3rd down 2 for the Generals. 3 receivers, twins to the right. Tight end in motion to the right as a lead blocker because they're handing off to Reedy and Philo. Not fooled. And down goes Reedy.
Maybe.
Finally down.
I think 44, Drew Wright for Philo might get credit for 6 tackles on that thing.
And they might also get credit for a penalty flag at the end of it for unnecessary roughness here, Doug. Let's see. Would have been what Philo needed and forced a Sheridan 4th down and long. Gone on the electrics as we anticipated at the end of the play.
Well, let's see that again on the replay here. That's so frustrating as a former coach. Your guy makes a great play. He makes a tackle for a loss.
That extra oomph, I think, is it. Can you believe that versus throwing him around? Reedy wouldn't go down. And that extra push possibly by Philo's 44, Drew Wright.
If that's what a personal foul is today in football,
we got problems.
Gee, Christmas. It looked like to me like, what do you have to tackle a guy and say, excuse me?
I like that. First down, though, for Sheridan, and Philo's going to have to D it up again here when you thought you had him stopped on 4th down coming. And Sheridan can pick up a first down here at the 2-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the 12, short gain on first. New ball carrier, you see getting that one is number 41, Brant Bailey, it appears, got the carry. Let's double-check the number, and it is.
Well, there's no doubt. There's no reason for Justin Munyon to carry the ball again tonight.
I stand corrected. Luke Link, 41. Bailey, 42. Link gets the carry, and he'll pick up a couple inside the 10, does Link. So going down to your, 4th, 5th string backs here, and a 28-0 lead, looking for more.
Well, even if you have a few subs in the game, you still want to score. I mean, that's the idea of offense. The object is to
play to win the game.
Win the game.
And you try to put points on the board. That's how you do so. And Sheridan's trying to do it again here on 3rd down. They can pick up the first down again at the 2. They're going to pass. We have flags here. And let's see. Catch made for a touchdown. No indication yet.
Was the ball caught?
Sheridan thinks so. It'll be Showalter was up there trying to sell it. But let's check the penalty flag. So no touchdown indicated. In fact, we do have this, though, indicated on the field. It's a hold on the defense. On the electric defense here, Doug. And that's a big no-no on 3rd down. And let's see.
They called it a touchdown. Then they waved off the touchdown. They see the ball's marked at the 1-yard line.
Called the hold on the defense. Waved that off, decline it because they want the touchdown. That is good. All right, I think we got it sorted out now.
Well, they didn't call it a touchdown.
Let's see. No, they're going to call it a catch at the 1.
Ball's at the 1.
How about that?
Well, let's see that one again at first chance we get. I mean, that was interesting.
All right, here's your replay.
Okay.
Look at that catch.
Well, it looks to me like he fell into the end zone.
To me, it looked like he crossed as well. Guess not. Okay, well, 1-yard line. Sheridan has it. They'll have a 1st and goal. Still looking for the touchdown.
New rule, if you score a touchdown and the team holds, you get put at the 1.
Tight end in motion. And Link will try to charge in, and he powers it home for the score.
Yes, he does.
Luke Link, sophomore, 5'9", 165-pound back, makes it 34-0 Sheridan. You'll see it on the screen with the replay. Nothing out of the norm. Nothing different here, just straight smash mouth football for that touchdown.
Ran behind Hunter Seitz, number 72, junior, 5'11", 230. He just screened his man off, pushed him in the end zone, and sophomore went in for his first score of the night.
So with $1:28 left to go here in the 3rd quarter, 34-0 Generals, the home team. Looking to tack on point number 35 and a perfect 5 for 5 on PAT kicks tonight. It's up and true, and that is the case for Spencer Showalter as they make another kick.
Nice job that time by Andrew Holden, the holder. I mean, we're going to talk to Coach Carter about these names. Sheridan playing quarterback for Sheridan and Holden being the holder.
It's confusing. I'm with you. Well, now it's 35-0 Generals here, late stage of the 3rd. Time for our sponsors for you once more on the Community Bank Game of the Week. Genesis Orthopedic Center, where better begins here. We'll give you the player of the game, the Genesis player of the game when this one concludes. Community Bank, now's the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Williamson Insurance, the power of choice from top-rated national and regional insurance carriers. Fink's Harley-Davidson, live to ride, ride to live. Fink's Quality Cars and RVs. Quick as a wink, deal with Fink and Fink's easy leasing and rental. And Doug, finally, I'll squeeze in Northside Pharmacy, Northside Oxygen, and Medical Equipment. Northside, your pharmacy for life, and put me on life support after reading all that.
I'm never cease to be amazed that you have all that memorized, Tank.
Well, comes with the territory. We're in week 7, right?
We're in week 7. I mean,
I've had plenty of practice.
There you go.
That's it. Plenty of practice is what Philo's going to have to do this week, down 35-0 right now, near the end of the third.
I believe we've reached the running clock portion of the program.
Running clock time. We're back to the way it was in weeks 1, 2, and 3. First time since week 3. As we have a return by the Electrics out near the 35. It was fielded around the 20, so about 15 yards on the run back. And that's where the Electrics will try to move the ball down the field here late stages of the third quarter. Game of the week next week, Morgan at West Muskingum. Raiders, Tornadoes, both 4-2 when the night began. Should be a good one up on the hills. We go right back over there to Whirlwind Stadium. Meanwhile, here, as you play this one out with the running clock, what's some of the things as a coach, whether you're on the winning side right now, Coach Culver III, or the losing side, and Coach Dirk Linsomkin, to come out of it here? Obviously, you don't want to have guys get further injured. What would you try to come out with on either sideline?
Well, I would start with putting 11 guys on defense. Looks like they have about 7.
Look out. Big man trying to race down the field for Sheridan here. One down lineman short. They got him out there. Second before the snap. That was 54 running on Connor Backus in time.
Okay, let's criticize Coach Culver for this coaching move. Coach, you should have had those 11 guys ready to go and on the field. Okay, that's all the criticism I have.
I like it.
So, one of the things, if you start subbing too early, then your kids, you get some young kids in there, and they make mistakes. They line up wrong. They have penalties, and the game just doesn't flow well. But that's the trade-off. If, you don't want to play your best players out there now with a 35-point lead and a running clock and lose your starting middle linebacker. They've already lost one starting middle linebacker this year. They don't want to lose another one or your best safety or whatever. So you get your younger kids out there and you get them pumped up. You tell them, hey, we expect you to play.
Next man up.
Play well. Let's go. Next man up. Let's go.
Keep it going. Philo's just trying to get on the scoreboard here, get the momentum and get it going for them tonight for the first time.
Philo, you just tell your kids, forget the scoreboard, go play.
We'll have score updates here in a moment after this play. Speaking of which, 3 receivers over to the right side, 1 lone back and rolling right, pressing on the run. Downfield, what a snare by Searles at about the midfield stripe, but did he keep the tiptoes in over there on the far sideline? We have a flag back here at the original line of scrimmage closer to us on the near sideline.
I don't see any chains moving one way or the other here.
It's because that flag is going to go on the offense. So the Electrics will be going backwards again. Little man downfield. Score update here, Doug. Well, it's a game all of a sudden. Morgan with a touchdown, a 2-point conversion after being down 26-0 to New Lexington. It's now 26-15. Late third quarters, the New Lexington Panthers look to hold on there. West Muskingum 14, Crooksville 0. Rough year again for the Crooksville Ceramics, your former school. Tri-Valley 30, Riverview 14. So the Scotties getting back on track, increasing the lead against the Black Bears. Back to action.
Interesting score at New Lexington. Morgan. Whoa.
More whistles, more flags as this game has worn on in this quarter.
I think they called that on the center, and he knows it. I saw him put his hands over his face like, oh, man, I know they hoping they didn't see me.
Another 5 yards on Philo here.
And I think that's the quarter.
And that will be the end of your third quarter. A untimed down if they can get it off. It looks like they're going to do so. Untimed down. And it's a handoff and a run on a sweep play that goes nowhere. Maybe a loss of a yard.
Tackle by Ryan Kuhn, number 12. 6 foot, 175-pound junior. Nice tackle.
And that will end the third quarter of action here at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium in Thornville. We'll step aside as well in the Community Bank Game of the Week. Sheridan rolling on, looking like they're going to continue their winning ways and make it 5 straight overall and 5 straight against the Philo Electrics in this series. They're up 35-0 after 3.
When it comes to your health and well-being, everyone can use a helping hand. That's why Northside Pharmacy goes the extra mile to safeguard your health and wellness. From advice on proper use of your medications to keeping our community safe, we've got you covered. Day or night. Northside, your pharmacy for life.
Your locally owned Tire Pros, City Tire Zanesville, Coshocton City Tire, and Buckeye Tire Pros of Cambridge have the largest inventory in a 3-county area. They offer a simple, straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, hassle-free experience, and a vast selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you've driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need, and we offer service for your commercial vehicles to keep your business rolling.
When you need tires, think of us, your locally owned tire dealers.
Storied Rivals started as a production company and it grew into a media company with our main focus in capturing unbelievable moments for families, kids, communities, teams, and schools. The financing Community Bank was able to provide us changed our business and allowed us to get to the next step. The Community Bank is trying to grow the community, and by backing us and our mission and then what we're providing for the community, they see that as a win-win. No matter what happens, they'll always be my first call.
When it comes to high school football, WHIZ-TV and Finks have you covered. Catch all the action on the Friday Night Blitz. Fridays at 11 right here on WHIZ-TV. Can't catch the news? Then just log on to WHIZnews.com for the Finks High School Scoreboard for a complete list of game scores and more. And when you're ready to hit the road, just click on FinksQualityAutos.com. Or for new and used Harley-Davidson motorcycles, visit FinksHD.com. Finks and WHIZ-TV, because local matters.
You don't have to be a full-time athlete to experience muscle, joint, or ligament issues. Injuries happen every day. Fortunately, the sports medicine team at Genesis is here to help. With expertise across a variety of musculoskeletal injuries and procedures, the latest technology in an office setting, and all the support of Genesis Healthcare System, we'll help you get back to whatever is most important in your life. Better begins here. Start your path to better at genesishcs.org.
$35-0 as you see the start of the fourth quarter about to get underway here at Sheridan High Schools.
Well, what I want to know is, did the Three Stooges invade the WHIZ truck downstairs, or what's going on down there, Hank?
One has to wonder sometimes, right? Hey, they got all.
Oh, look at that!
They got all fed up before the game. We know that. They feed you well here at Sheridan. And first play of the fourth quarter is a big gainer on 2nd down and 20 from the 25 to start. As the Electrics, they haven't had much go right. That one did. They needed 20, and they got 20.
I believe that was Zimmerman. He's on the field, and I think he has a knee brace on his right leg. Remember, he kind of limped off. We couldn't tell what leg was injured, but obviously it was his right one.
And so the Electrics tried to put a dent in on the scoreboard here late, down 35-0 for what it's worth. Running clock and good run. They're into general territory over the 50 to the 49.
Zach Savage on the carry. Bounced off a couple of tacklers and spun out, picked up some nice yards.
You see the replay there. Savage getting that carry.
Nice hit there. They didn't wrap it. He just kept on going.
Pinballed his way with a couple spin moves. And so the Electrics also working themselves deep into the bench, as it will be a 2nd down and 6 for Philo at the Sheridan 49-yard line. Already over a minute gone by here in the fourth. As out of the gun and getting the snap, still playing is the sophomore Preston out there, and Preston playing hard, and he got the first down up to the 41 of Sheridan for about 8 more.
Well, it looks like Talon Preston is continuing to play hard. It's a great pass he threw on the previous down. Now he's running the ball well. You know, I mean, he's a top flight quarterback and just a sophomore. He's not going to give up.
So the Electrics, they'll place this ball at the 40-yard line, 9 yards on that quarterback run. 21-16, Maysville leading John Glenn as the Muskies got a touchdown and a safety. Another MVL update for you as we keep passing them along. Here's a pass on a slant. Nice bobbling catch and a first down catch, in fact, by Fink up to the Generals' 21-yard line.
Oh, nice play. Nice catch, to a way to stay with that ball, didn't lose his concentration. That was right there in the heart of the defense. I mean, you know you're going to get smacked as soon as you catch it. He stayed with it. Nice play. good drive going for the Electrics here.
Put that knee down at the 23-yard line. Momentum had him laying down at the 21. 17 yards on the completion. Nice run here as Philo goes back to their bench with Zach Savage. Just called his name a moment ago, the senior back.
Boy, I tell you what, that was a submarine-style tackle. If he doesn't go down, he's going to walk into the end zone.
And so the Electrics' deepest penetration on the night, albeit late in the fourth down, 35-0. Take the positives here. Here's Savage trying to go around the left side, and he broke one tackle but couldn't smash out of three more Generals that converged.
Managed to pick up a couple of yards maybe one or two at the most.
And so Philo will have a second and long as the running clock puts us under 9 minutes already left to go in our game in regulation.
35 zip, 8:44 left on the clock. That is running.
Philo trying to get that elusive first score of the night. Get off the schneid. Goose egg up. Down 35 zip. Fake. Man in motion was from right to left. Passing on the run. Man flashes open. That was Searles. Couldn't get it to him in near that back corner.
And there is a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be an illegal man down the field.
And that'll cost Philo more penalty yards. They've been racking them up. Both teams also have picked up plenty of penalty flags on both sides, but Philo at most inopportune times, it seems. Here they're trying to get their first score, and they'll go back. Under 8 minutes left to go. Morgan at West Muskingum next week, our game of the week. Stay tuned when this one concludes. Genesis Orthopedic Center, where better begins here. The Genesis Player of the Game. We will nominate for you as we do each and every week. Back to action on the field after the penalty. It moves it back to the 17-yard line. Out of the gun, Preston looking right side, Savage catches it wide open. 10 and 5-yard line, just short maybe of the 5-yard line. He's finally tripped up. So Philo, deepest penetration. Nice little screen called to Savage.
Yes, it was. I'm not even sure if he was the intended receiver. Let's watch the quarterback's eyes. Quarterback's looking down the field first, and then it comes back to Savage on that pass. Either it was a great job of acting or he just came to a secondary receiver.
Certainly was, and they'll place it down at the 7, 10 yards on the screen pass. Third down, Philo trying to get close to the first down marker, trying to get their first points, bullying in by the line. Can the offensive line push him in? And that would be Talon Preston. If so, if he crosses the goal line, but he's going to be just short of the touchdown. However, he will have a first and goal for his team.
Well, that was a determined run. That was outstanding. He just refused to go down. He's fighting in there. He had guys jumping on him and pushing him back. Oh, the offensive lineman pushing him in. They just about scored on the scrum right there.
And Preston gets his team down to the 6-inch line, inside the 1. Out of the gun, Savage to his left, handoff. Savage barrels home for Philo's first points of the game with just over 6 minutes left to play.
The 5'10", 183-pound senior is a tough runner.
Coach Dirk Lincecum and his Electrics have something to be happy about as they march down the field for a score. Savage finishes it off. Had a good drive, did Savage, including a nice screenplay moments ago to put his team in position.
Well, he was definitely the featured offensive player in that drive, no doubt about it.
Let's see if Philo will elect to go for the 2-point conversion or if they'll try to line up and kick. Looks like they will line up and try the extra point attempt.
I think that's a good call. 2 points isn't going to win the game. Get your kicker right there and get more time on the field for your kicker.
High snap, hold us down, low kick, no good. Shank and wide left. Had distance, but a low liner. Started with a bad snap, you could say it was high. Able to get that hold down, and it just threw the kick off. 35-6, though, as Philo has scored here at about the midway point of the fourth quarter. As the Electrics, they came in winners of 2 straight at 3-3. Which Electric team would we get here tonight? Well, and which General team were we going to get? Well, Sheridan has been consistent all year long, except for a week 2 trip up and a 3-point loss to Watkins Memorial. They are peaking at the right time here in week 7, up 35-6.
Well, one has made a big impression on me. is the number of skilled players Sheridan can run in and out of the game to carry the ball, to play quarterback, to be receivers. I mean, they have some talented young players in the skilled positions, and they have a very good offensive and defensive line to go with them. And, I mean, what a great combination to have.
It certainly is, and with under 7 minutes left to go in New Lexington Morgan, as we keep tabs on that, because New Lexington is 5-1, Morgan 4-2. We're about to see the Morgan Raiders for the first time this year next week in our game of the week. New Lexington has just scored again. It's a fourth rushing touchdown from Rose Hunter, 44 yards out. That one's probably going to cement things at the midway point in the fourth of that game, as Morgan got to within 11 after being down 26-0.
I talked briefly with one of the assistant coaches, and he told me, Morgan beat him last year. And they were not taking Morgan lightly at all.
I want to thank Ted Snyder for all these score updates as well. Appreciate that. As Philo tees things off at the 40-yard line, a low kick here. Going to be fielded on the bounce, not easily, at about the 15-yard line. And now trekking toward the sidelines and getting thrown down by a pair of electrics shy of the 30-yard line is the return man for Sheridan, number 15, Austin Clifton. First time we've called his name tonight.
And we have another penalty, and I think this one's going to go against Philo.
And it is.
Another penalty on the sideline.
So tack on additional yardage at the end of this run here for the Generals. Set them up closer to midfield.
Well, the lone score by Philo has, cut the deficit to 29, so we'll have a regulation clock from this point on unless Sheridan scores again.
So they will march it off here in just a moment. We'll tell you Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First always make it easier for you to furnish your home. Norvell's Hearing Aid Centers in Zanesville, Cambridge, always here for you. And City Tire Pros, serving our community since 1953. When you think tires, think City Tire Pros.
Okay. We have a new quarterback. I believe it's going to be number 16, Corey Holden. Sophomore. 5'9", 150 pounds.
He'll be working out of the shotgun. Well, the sophomore Holden. And he's going to hand this one off to the tailback, moving forward quickly, but then stacked up after a couple yards to the 42-yard line is the ball carrier. Picking that one up was 27. Here comes new names. Junior Zach Hines getting his first carry. Hines stands 5'8", 150 pounds. You're going to hear a lot of new names here down the end of this one, the final 5+. As Sheridan will run out of here with a victory. They just want to keep this clock running. Now, again, non-running clock now all of a sudden because it's a 29-point difference for what it's worth. So you will see the clock stop again when necessary and needed. Out of the gun. The third-string quarterback will hand it off. We have flags, though, immediately stopping the play, blowing this one dead as Hines got the carry from Holden. False start, 5 yards. Next up for Sheridan again is at Maysville, at Tri-Valley, home for New Lex. We'll have for you in Week 10 as the Generals look to continue their winning ways down the stretch. Philo on the flip side, home for Tri-Valley, home for John Glenn, and at Maysville. Somewhat the similar teams on the schedule for these two teams, just flip-flopped around by the weeks. Second down, 15, and it's a run play, nothing cooking for the General offense. And you got a scrum downfield. You see it on the left side of your screen. The flag flies in. Some extracurriculars going on by the DB and the wideout for Sheridan and Philo. And so here's the guilty party. Seth Henning mixing it up for Philo. Number 11, let's see.
They're going to call this on Philo. I mean, the wide receivers are going downfield, and they are just drilling the guys in the secondary.
Take a look here. If we get a chance, you'll see the handoff, and then it's blown dead immediately after the stack up, but it's out of our picture where it takes place.
I mean, that's the second player in the secondary that I've seen just get pancaked on a block. I think I saw number 82 for Sheridan Hayden Henry get a block like that on the first down. And I think that time it was Evan Anderson, number 23. So I don't know if there's words being exchanged. I don't see any punches thrown or anything like that.
A little bit extra pushing and shoving may have happened at the end. Either way, it's a Philo penalty that puts Sheridan in a good position at the Philo 49 as they run the backups. Third stringers out there and nothing doing on the run play there by Holden. In fact, they'll put it right back at the 50-yard line. Second and long. 4.5 minutes and counting left in this one. This will be 5 straight wins for Sheridan. They're going to go to 6-1 at the end of the night. Philo's 2-game win streak in the end is going to come to a halt. They were going to fall to 3-4. In the series, Sheridan will have won 5 consecutive since Philo won in 2017. As we play this one out, Holden with a fake and will run forward for a yard. The ball comes out late after he went down.
Yeah, he was on his back, and the defender pulled it out. But you know, this has been a heated rivalry over the years, and I'm sure there's a lot of pride in the Philo football program, and losing 5 years in a row, I'm sure doesn't sit well with them.
Also a win tonight for Paul Culver III. His coaching career in his 7th year at Sheridan. The win, number 6, to go to 6-1 assures a winning season for his 7th straight year. He has not had a losing year. Passing downfield, got a man and a diving catch. That was a great throw by Holden, but an even better sliding reception made downfield.
Hayden Henry, number 82. Nice catch. 6 foot, 175-pound wide receiver, sophomore for the Generals.
He's a big wideout. Almost looked like a tight end type physique at 6 foot 175, and as just a sophomore, as you mentioned. So you see a little bit of the future here for Sheridan down this stretch. They just keep plugging and playing.
Like a little preview.
And here's Holden run, and the third-string quarterback will pick up about a yard or so, maybe a yard and a half. As we come down to about 3 minutes left to go in our game here in Thornville, 35-6. So we didn't get the close game here tonight that we were hoping to see. Sheridan and their fans didn't want to see that, and they didn't get that, and they're happy about it.
Well, they honored their Hall of Fame members in the pregame, and the Sheridan Generals came out and played Red Rage football all night. They did a nice job.
And they continue to rage on the ground attack here with this run play as Zach Hines, number 27, right side of the line, scoots forward about a yard shy of the first down. His best run.
I think the Sheridan General Pups want to put one in the end zone.
And good for good measure, and they might. We're still got 2.5 to go. There you see clock running, 2:25 and ticking.
You know, I don't think Coach Culver's going to call any timeouts here so they can score, but if they're good enough to score, I'm sure he'll let them.
And he'll take it. Yeah, fake. And on 3rd down and 1, first down Generals. As, again, going forward is Holden calling his own number. Corey Holden, sophomore quarterback, picking up the first down.
Sheridan's quarterbacks have always been runners, too. I mean, they're not just handoff machines or passers. They've always been runners. And they're expected to run the option, and now they run the spread offense where they run a lot of keeps and a lot of counter plays. So that their quarterbacks are tough kids.
Very multidimensional, you're right. And that goes back decades. Paul Culver Jr. Here we go with a run. And left side sweep, and getting up in it at about the 15-yard line is Zach Hines. Hines, another good one here for about 8.
I mean, that's a nice chunky yardage on first down. Well, he had the stiff arm ready to go, but he didn't need it. Nice run.
Generals threatening inside the red zone. Minute 22 and ticking away in this one. All Sheridan. Looking for more potentially here to end this one. Holden has a gun, bobbles it, picks it up, and he'll go down right about the line of scrimmage, the 15. Able to maintain possession. I think Sheridan's going to just kind of salt away the win here, one would think, rather than trying to poke one in there for good measure.
I don't think we're going to see a desperation pass into the end zone here by any stretch. Nice game for the Sheridan Generals. They came out, they executed. They had a couple of early mistakes, one interception, a couple penalties, but they overcame all that, maintained their poise, stayed with their game plan, and came away with a nice victory tonight.
And they have about 5 left on the play clock, so we'll have to at least run one more play. And they're put a knee on it. Philo with all the timeouts in their back pocket. They're not going to call any and just get mercifully back home out of here with a 35-6 defeat. So the final seconds will tick off the clock here at Thornville's Paul Culver Jr. Stadium. Your Community Bank Game of the Week with the Sheridan Generals victorious bunch here on their home field in front of their home fans. They'll make it 5 wins in a row in the series over Philo. They have not lost the Electrics since 2017, and here on this field since 2016. Didn't happen again this year. Jubilant bunch. They're going to be 6-1, winners of 5 straight. Philo falls to 3-4, back under 500. 2-game winning streak comes to a close. When Doug and I come back, we'll have a final wrap on this one tonight and how the Sheridan Generals improved to 6-2 and keep their winning ways going in 2022.
Hi, Randy Kokonis.
And I'm Bo Kokonis. It's hard to believe it's been 95 years since my great-grandfather first opened a furniture business.
So now we're celebrating our big 95th anniversary with extra special savings store-wide. First, get a $95 Kokonis gift card just for stopping in. Second, enjoy up to 72 months 0% financing. And third, stop in any Kokonis location and register to win over $20,000 in prizes.
Come celebrate our big 95th anniversary sale
at all Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First locations.
Well, this marks my 22nd year at Foxfire, and I have a great sense of pride of our staff and our community to see where it was at once a one classroom, 5-student school to a comprehensive dropout recovery district that serves 21 different districts from 8 different counties. And it's a great deal of pride and happiness and satisfaction of what our staff does on a daily basis.
If you attended school in the state of Ohio, you may qualify to become a member of the Ohio Educational Credit Union. From elementary to high school, trade school through college, we're not just for teachers anymore. So come see us at the Ohio Educational Credit Union.
Grandchildren say some of the cutest things.
Don't miss out on any of them just because you can't hear.
Call us at Norvell's for a free hearing aid consultation.
Because when it comes to your grandchildren, you don't want to miss a thing.
Norvell's Hearing Aid Center, we're always here for you.
When it comes to high school football, WHIZ-TV and Finks have you covered. Catch all the action on the Friday Night Blitz. Fridays at 11 right here on WHIZ-TV. Can't catch the news? Then just log on to WHIZnews.com for the Finks High School Scoreboard for a complete list of game scores and more. And when you're ready to hit the road, just click on FinksQualityAutos.com. Or for new and used Harley-Davidson motorcycles, visit FinksHD.com. Finks and WHIZ-TV, because local matters.
Don and Sue started in 1972. It's been around a long time. Just a good pizza. We want to keep it going. A lot of the families come in with their kids after the YMCA games, after North Catholic games, after North Wildcat games, scoreboards and all the old Volkswagens. And it's just a neat atmosphere here. The community bank has helped me so much with not even only this purchase. I started a relationship with Jim Holman there a couple years ago. He is in here all the time. He knew this would work, and that's why they weren't nervous at all to jump right in and give us a loan.
Back here on the Community Bank Game of the Week, Hank Alphen with Doug Clifford at Paul Culver Jr. Stadium in Thornville. Sheridan High School victorious for the Sheridan Generals here tonight over the Philo Electrics. It was 35-6, all Sheridan in this one. We're going to roll to the highlights for you to see how it all took place. And Sheridan scored first. Nope, it's not a touchdown run from Justin Munyon. In fact, it's Reed Packer taking it home, the senior quarterback for Sheridan for their first points. Right here, they would go back to the well, 7-0 after one. They would keep it on the ground. Alex Poyer, a 10-yard touchdown run. At the 8.5-minute mark, Sheridan was up 14-0 after the PAT. Here's Munyon, first of 2 touchdowns for Justin, 15 yards out. That completed the first half, scoring at 21-0, and he wasn't done, Doug.
No, not at all. This kid is a tough runner. This time he just powers his way into the end zone.
That one goes for 11 yards out. That was early in the third, 28-0. Generals after they forced a 3-and-out by Philo. That probably cemented it, you could say, right then and there. Sheridan nearly scored on that reception by Showalter. They put him down at the 1. Looked like a score. Didn't matter because the next highlight you're going to see, it's going to be a 1-yard run by Luke Link late in the third as Sheridan continued to impress 35-0 with this one.
Nice block by big number 72 for Sheridan. Hunter Seitz.
And then Philo, yes, they get a highlight here. Score, their only score of the game in the fourth. Zach Savage, halfway through the fourth quarter. And the extra point was no good, and that finished the scoring here tonight. So you saw the highlights. You've heard the game, hopefully so. You watched it as well. And, Doug, we saw Sheridan just come in here, and they put it on Philo here tonight in winning 35-6 to make it 4 straight wins. 4 straight coming in, 5 straight now, and 5 straight in the series as they go to 6-1.
Well, you looked to me like they had their scouting report down. They were ready for what Philo did. I thought Sheridan's team speed was better than Philo's. Philo couldn't make a big play tonight at all. I think they had one quarterback scramble for a big gain, and that's about it. So the Sheridan's defense dominated the game, and offensively they just executed the passing game, the running game. They did a great job.
Turnovers were not a factor here in tonight's game. Sheridan threw an interception early in the game in the first quarter. It did not come back to bite them, obviously, in the end. They settled in and got it rolling offensively and defensively. They locked down Philo, like you said. The Electrics had it really hard from the get-go, and they're going to have to find a way to regroup. Their 2-game winning streak comes to a close tonight.
Well, their offense, I don't know how many 3-and-outs they had. Penalties on first down, it would be first down and 20 or second down and 25. They just couldn't get out of their own way on offense, and mainly because the Sheridan defense was just up to the challenge tonight.
Yeah, so Sheridan here, 35-6 on their home field. They get it done. They go to 6-1. The tough stretch of the schedule still to come up ahead. We'll see Sheridan again in Week 10 against New Lexington. This is the final time we see the Electrics on this schedule, and that end of the season matchup Week 10, we know how that could probably be, but we're looking ahead a few weeks. Obviously, there's a lot more work to be done before then.
Well, I think we have a great game next week lined up too.
We do. Next week we have Morgan at West Muskingum. We'll be back at Whirlwind Stadium, and we don't want to finish without announcing your Genesis player of the game. It's Justin Munyon. He had the 2 touchdown runs from 15 and 11 yards out tonight. Congratulations to him, the junior back.
Well, we've given that award away to the player that made the play that won the game in the last few weeks, but there's no play like that tonight, so we just used the overall play. And also the hospitality here at the press box at Sheridan is always great.
Yeah, absolutely.
John Ulmer helped us several times with numbers and pronunciation, so all in all, it was a great night for Sheridan.
Hey, we're rolling too. Was it 3 straight weeks for us, I think?
That's great.
All right.
That'll be a record.
Let's see if we go back at it. October next week on next Friday's game of the week. So flip the calendar, getting a little bit colder as we move along late in the football season. West Muskingum at home next week against Morgan is our Community Bank game of the week. Thanks for tuning in. 35-6 Sheridan all over Philo in this MVL clash tonight.
The Community Bank High School Football Game of the Week on WHIZ-TV is presented by the Community Bank. Now is the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. Genesis Orthopedic Center, where better begins here. By Williamson Insurance, the power of choice from top-rated national and regional insurance carriers. By Finks Harley Davidson, live to ride, ride to live. Finks Quality Cars and RVs. Quick as a wink, deal with Fink, and Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental. By Northside Pharmacy and Northside Oxygen and Medical Equipment. Northside, your pharmacy for life. By Norvell's Hearing Aid Centers in Zanesville and Cambridge, always here for you. By Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grade K through 12. By Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. By City Tire Pros, serving our community since 1953. When you think tires, think City Tire Pros. By Denny's Classic Diner, America's favorite diner in Zanesville and Cambridge. Scoreboards are provided by the Finks family of motor vehicles and services, with instant replay brought to you by the Ohio Educational Credit Union, and the halftime show presented by CA House Music.